on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Welcome to Moe's. Everyone knows that coming into Moe's for our Mo Monday special is the best deal in burritos. But what about those other 6 days? Well, let me introduce the new Mo Value Meal. Junior burrito, side of queso, chips, salsa, and a fountain drink for only $9.99. And the best part? It's available all day, every day at Moe's Southwest Grill. Now here's my daughter Andy Kate with a special reminder.
Remember, kids eat free on Sundays. Welcome to Moe's.
Razorback Foundation members, it's time to renew your membership. Annual Fund Pledge renewals are now open and due March 31st. Renew now by visiting RazorbackFoundation.com or text RENEW to 479-349-4313. Be part of the tradition for the new era of Razorback football under Coach Silverfield. Renew your Razorback Foundation membership today. Text RENEW to 479-349-4313. Go Hogs!
You ready? Let's go.
You're in the zone. Arkansas's longest-running midday sports talk show. Coming to you live from the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio. Oaklawn, Arkansas's only casino resort.
20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
With your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson on the Buzz Radio Network.
Feels so unlike everybody else, alone in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know, but no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go. Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still even him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him because he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, got a picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote. His will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds. The skill of an artist. This is 20% skill, 80% gear, be 100% clear. Cause Ryder was ill. Who would have thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse. Let's do this the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots. His stocks through the roof. I heard him with that stuff. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. Call him Ryder, he's sick and he's spitting fire and Mike got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor with top, but a nihilist porcupine. He's a the type women wanna be with him. Rappers hope he gets 8 years in the making, patiently waiting to blow. Now the record with your notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime. This is equally dope. You won't believe the kind of that comes out of this kid's throat. He's not your everyday on the block. He knows how to work with what he's got, making his way to the top. He often gets a comment on his name. People keep asking him, was it given that birth that doesn't stand for an acronym? No, he's living proof. Let him rock in the booth. He'll get you.
Brunson on the drive, spins underneath, puts it up, puts it in. Jalen Brunson does it again. It's now 12 consecutive wins for the Knicks as they take game one of the NBA Finals. Their 7th consecutive road game. And one of the great playoff runs in NBA history is still alive.
It was a tie game with about 2:15 to go. Just what was the difference in those last 2 minutes?
I think just sticking together. Wasn't really our night, wasn't really my night most of the night. But we kept finding a way, kept chipping away. I just like how resilient we were tonight.
Yeah, you guys were down 14 in the third quarter. Just what started to turn things around?
Honestly, just think of chemistry, just knowing that we have each other's back. There's a lot of things excellent and wise we could have done better, but I think most importantly, our togetherness really was really the biggest difference.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving.
All right, welcome into the zone, and we had to give the Knicks their props out of the gate today. As predicted in the zone yesterday, last night's game was decided by 10 points. Problem is, I said
way.
San Antonio would win by 10 points. I was only 20 points off. If you haven't caught on to this by now, I'm not very good at predicting the outcome of sports. That's why I've really gotten away from predictions on the show. But it's not about me. It's about Jalen Brunson and his 33% shooting, which is more than good enough because he had a really good fourth quarter. And the Knicks responded after getting themselves in a bit of a hole in that final period. And I don't know how you lose a 7'4" guy, but
disappearing act
for Wemby. Don't turn sideways. I can't see you.
When you shoot 6 for 21, it's kind of easy to get beaten.
Well, how tall is Chet Holmgren? Because he disappeared throughout the entire Western Conference Finals.
You know what? OKC's done for the season. Get off him.
I'm just saying, he's not as tall as Wemby, but he is really tall, and you didn't see him much. Hey, can somebody who's been to a Knicks game tell me if they play Frank Sinatra after the Knicks win inside MSG? Have you ever been to a Yankee game when they play this, when the Yankees win?
No.
It's actually one of the coolest things to stand there listening to.
You can't play that at a Knicks game, then. You got to play like New York State of Mind from Billy Joel or something else.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to have a different one. Or you could play the Jay-Z song.
Well, you can't do it because the Yankees have been doing it for all those years.
Empire. What's the Empire song called?
Empire State of Mind.
Empire State of Mind. Yeah, I didn't want. It's like that seemed too obvious because I just said New York State of Mind. Yeah, something like that. There's so many New York songs.
Yes.
I don't know what city has the most songs written about it, but New York's got to be up there, if not number one.
I think New York is top of the list.
Yeah.
In this country, who would be second? That's probably another conversation.
Okay. All right, so today we have a super busy show. We're going to talk about the NBA a little bit. You got most of it right there. Jalen played not great, but good enough, and he was good at the right times.
He's Willis Reed the second now.
What's that?
Willis Reed. I mean, the guy he came back from the knee thing.
His wasn't that serious.
It's not quite as the same thing.
Both teams shot terribly.
Yeah, they did. It was rough to watch. I think there were like 8 or 9 consecutive possessions where nobody hit a bucket, and I couldn't find the numbers, but I think New York outscored San Antonio 11 or 13-0 down the stretch. It's crazy. We'll say good defense. Brunson made some nice plays though. I will give him credit. He's an interesting guy.
He's as tough as it gets.
He's a tough dude.
He's one of the shortest guys on the court too.
Yep.
And at one point on one knee and on one ankle. Of course, I know it wasn't really that. He's still pushing right through it and getting to where he needs to get to.
Yes, he is crafty. I think that's a good word for him. Crafty.
The Spurs kind of shot themselves in the foot, obviously by missing. They were shot under 40% total. And Dylan Harper had been their best player all game and played 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. No idea why.
Let's get on the coaches, shall we?
Well, we were talking, Ron Harper yesterday, and that was something the announcers were really praising Dylan Harper for, was just in his bag, is what they kept calling it. He had so many different moves to get to the hole, and he was crushing it. He was the only one he was the only Spur to finish the game shooting over 50%.
That's a good stat. I saw somebody talking about Brunson being in his bag last night too. Very, very crafty moves. I mean, driving in, spinning, pump fakes, slide unders, take contact, hit shots fading away. Very impressive. Anyway, all right, well, if we're going to rip the San Antonio coaches, we should probably give Mike Brown his due for the Knicks.
And, Jalen, he was the MVP in the second half. He was huge for us. He did what MVP candidates are supposed to do. He carried us home. We put the ball in his hands, and he got it done for us down the stretch. But a good win. We have to keep taking it one game at a time and stay present and see what happens.
One thing we talked about yesterday, and we all sort of made fun of it, but maybe there's something to it. Garnett talking about how Wemby showed way too much emotion after winning the West. Getting over the Oklahoma City Thunder hump is a big deal for a lot of teams, though, so I get it, and they are the defending champs, so there's something there. But maybe there was a little bit of a sense of accomplishment to some degree. Or maybe the Knicks just played well, and maybe that rest certainly paid off for them as they were the fresher team down the stretch.
There's no time to rest on any laurels when you played in a 7-game series and you're going up against a team that's coming up, not just a sweep, but 2 sweeps.
They're a better defensive team, or at least Cat and Mitchell Robinson and OG were doing way better than Chet did at all. Cat was better in game 1 than all of Chet's games put together.
Karl Anthony Towns was the best big man on the court by far.
He was awesome.
Who did they play in the semis?
They swept the Cavs.
Yeah. Well, there was the Sixers and then the Cavs.
Okay.
They haven't. You see, the Knicks haven't lost a game since April 23rd.
That's amazing.
12 in a row.
Yeah, they're on a good run for sure.
Only
That's
3
Captain
teams have
Obvious.
ever done that in a single playoffs.
Over a month. I mean, that was April, for crying out loud, since you and I were not working together, even close to being working together then. It's the last time they lost a game.
You work here?
For now.
Huh.
Today.
We're happy to have you. Here's Wemby after the game. I'm sure he didn't say, I shouldn't have celebrated so much after the Western Conference Finals, but here we are.
First ever finals game tonight. Were there any jitters that bothered you from the beginning that perhaps could have affected you at all today?
I mean, it definitely felt special for sure, but nothing close that could be an excuse. It was not a factor in our performance.
By the way, that reporter has really good timbre in his voice. Guy's got a good voice.
It wasn't timber.
Can I say something stupid? You're like, why stop now?
Yeah. You've never asked permission before.
I didn't know how to answer that.
If it's your first time going to the finals, can I make an argument that there's something to be said for going on the road and being on the road for your first finals game? Because at home there's a lot of pressure because you have the better record. You're expected to win at home. And if you're on the road, it's like nobody expects you to win both games on the road anyway. It's a good way to get the sort of ball rolling, I think, in a finals game. But I think for Wemby, there had to be a ton of pressure on him last night. Well, self-imposed a lot.
It's also that this is an expected coronation of the greatest, of the guy who's supposed to be the next greatest player of our lives, like the next 20 years. This is supposed to be the coronation, right? I mean, how long? Michael Jordan gets to the finals, first time they win.
Yeah. But he had also he'd been through hell to get to the finals.
Yes, he had. It's a totally different thing than what Wemby's dealing with.
Right.
But it also did feel like a coronation at that moment.
I will also say I've seen this compared to the finals with the Lakers and the Sixers when Allen Iverson was there with Snow and those bums. I mean, those guys that weren't great. And they actually won a game, and everybody's like, oh, maybe the little guy can do it. And then it was like, no, they lost 4-1.
Well,
and I'm not comparing this to that Lakers team by any means, but
wasn't there a series with the Cavs with LeBron, and he's got like a bunch of sort of the same guys?
They had
win
no
a game.
business making it to the.
They might have won 2 or 3 games
to the postseason, or at least the finals.
Well, and that Lakers team hadn't lost up to that point, so that's what really threw the wrench in with AI there. Yeah,
that's not what this Spurs team is. This is not Wemby and just a bunch of scrubs.
No, those guys are great, man. They're underrated, and like I said, I think Dylan Harper is going to be incredible coming up.
Yeah, they're still super young, I think, to your point.
Second youngest team to ever make the finals, I think.
Is that right?
I think. That's
for a guy who's hockey first, you're a really good NBA guy.
He pays attention to the games when he's watching it. He's like listening to the announcers and everything.
You write notes down? Or you have a legal pad you take notes on?
Would that impress you, or would you think I was a dork?
Both.
Fourth quarter of the game yesterday, I'm asleep. I mean, I fell asleep. I can't stay awake sometimes if I'm not calling the game. You're like literally like paying attention to everything that Breen and Legler and Jefferson say at that moment.
I love Breen. He's one of the best. But
He's
yeah,
great.
I did struggle to stay awake, but I made it through barely. And no notes. Maybe every now and then in the phone.
I was literally on my side in the bed when I opened last 5 minutes of the game. But I was like, it may not be over. And then once Brunson hit the 3-pointer in the corner, I was like, well, that's over.
Well, and I was like, okay. In the third, they were up 14. I was like, all right, make this 20 and I'll pass out.
I know.
I can do it. And they wouldn't.
I
They
couldn't
just
wait
kept
to text
clawing
Joe
back.
Klein and say, I told you so. And then I couldn't.
What if this becomes a reverse coronation? What if this is Jalen Brunson is the next face of the NBA?
Maybe so.
Well, isn't that what they always say, though? You go in, and the young team always has to take that loss. They got to keep getting beaten before they can make that big jump. This is his first playoffs, let alone his first finals. So,
Well, Brunson hasn't been to the finals either. He seems fine.
True, but Wemby and them are so young. They haven't made it, again, first playoffs at all. So he's playing like 4 more minutes a game in the playoffs. He sat out so much during the regular season. He's tired, I think, dude.
Maybe so. I will say he took some questionable shots, and he did not. It was not very effective. There are moments, though, where he makes it look super easy. The only other guy that I can think of that makes it look as easy is Antetokounmpo when he's in his bag, as the kids say. When he's rolling, like he makes it look. It's like, well, that's not even fair. Like you're too freakish. But Brunson makes everything look hard as hell, but he still gets it done all the time. It's amazing.
He's got 8 different moves on each move that he makes. It's actually amazing to think he's got this bag of moves, but it's right there in his head. He knows exactly which way to go. Wemby's amazing to watch because he'll get beaten defensively, but you're like, well, that's a lot different. It means a lot more for somebody else than it does to be beaten for him because he goes for the ball on a steal, and then somebody drives right past him. But he still has the longest arms and legs in the league and can just lean over and miss a block shot, but the second arm comes through and gets it anyway.
Can I sidebar for a moment? You guys saw late in the game the moron that ran on the court to get a selfie with Wemby. And I'm sorry, guys. I just need a little more violence. If you run on the court in an NBA Finals game, again, anything can happen. That kid could have a penknife in his pants. I don't know what's going on. These are, top-level athletes and people we enjoy watching play the game. I need you to beat the hell out of someone on the court in plain view because it was on camera. It wasn't like a guy that ran in during a break or something. Like, it was in the middle of the damn game, and they had video on the guy, and then, like, two ushers gently go, okay, buddy, let's get you off the court now. I'm like, beat that kid's ass! You need to beat people up when they run on the court. You have no business being out there in the middle of the game.
Wasn't there somebody who ran on the court 2 or 3 years ago and glued her hand to the floor?
That was a protest move.
At least they're making a statement. Like, I understand doing that. I mean, it's stupid. But, like, you could have done that break a play. You're right. It was on TV. They could have waited. They could have just sprinted over to Wemby and clicked and moved on.
I need you to make a statement.
Make
and
an
honestly,
example,
again, you want to glue your hands to the floor, fine. We'll cut your hands off. And we'll scrape them off later, but we're going to finish the game. Get out of here.
But that's what they would do at a football game. You make a motion towards the quarterback.
Yeah.
The left tackle's coming at you, and you're going down. You're getting pancaked.
Well, I need a San Antonio goon then. Somebody's got to protect Wemby. You can't have these jagoffs running out there. I mean, you saw what happened. I mean, listen, it's just like tennis. I mean, you got access to the athletes. Bad stuff can happen. I need someone to get their butt beat. I'm sorry.
Would you have a problem if it was like a Morgana the Kissing Bandit moment, if it was somebody that just sashayed onto the floor just to give Wemby a kiss on the cheek and then walk off to massive applause?
I'm not going to say that I advocate violence against women. I don't. I think it's reprehensible. However, you do not belong on the field of play during a game. Baseball, basketball, golf, track and field, I don't care what it is. You don't belong out there, and you should get your butt beat if you go out there. And maybe we got to get female security guards to kick her ass, but you can't have it, and it's nonsense. And it's like, somebody posted a video like it was super cute, and this cutie went out there, but he was too tall because he couldn't get it. No! They should beat his ass there.
There's a woman who made a living out of this.
I know about Morgana. It's different because she became an icon. That's different. Everybody's like, nobody thinks Morgana's out. I mean, the only thing you're going to get from her maybe is a black eye.
She got
but you're not going to get hurt.
Jail the first time she did it.
Again, you're apples and oranges, Phil. You're missing my point. Don't miss my point. Don't change the subject. Don't move the goalpost. If you run on a court during a game as a dude, you need your ass kicked. It's ridiculous.
That's the difference, though. It's as a dude.
Because
if it's a woman that does it and glues her hand to the floor.
It's different. Look, there's women and there's Morgana. So, again, you're changing the whole thing. Bottom line is, I don't want this guy gingerly, gently moved to the side and then ejected from the stadium. It's like, what was the movie where he's like, and I don't want him, I want him it was maybe Casino. But I want him thrown out of here. Like, I want him moved out of here with, some force. Like, I need all the security in there. I need bowed-up dudes who look like HB, ripping arms off and throwing the guy out head first. I want you opening the door with his face.
Yeah, Jazzy Jeff style.
What you need is the pit that is under Jabba. And, Jabba drops all the people down into that gets eaten by the monster there. You need to be Jabba the Hutt. You need to have a floor that opens up and sucks them down below. Otherwise, what are they going to do?
You're screwing around. I'm getting pissed off over here. Okay, sometimes I feel like we're having separate conversations. We've done this before. You and I have been friends long enough. But Phil is like in his bag over here, like playing games. I'm not joking around right now. I want absolute violence to prevent this kind of thing from happening. You can't just kill people in the street after you watch them kill somebody because we have a legal system. But if you run on a court, you need to be escorted off the court with violence. Agree or disagree, I want a poll put up immediately.
I'm just telling you that there are instances where people do this, and they are just dragged. I mean, I've seen.
You're right. Football's a different environment.
I've seen people run onto the baseball field in Omaha and get form tackled by a member of the grounds crew because there was no security.
I think that's my point, Phil. Is I'm mad that they didn't kill this guy last night. I don't mean literally, but they should have roughed him up a little bit. Like, I want him to know he did something wrong, and he's going to get his criminal trespass or whatever the hell they're going to give him, slap on the wrist nonsense. It's a misdemeanor, but I need him to be roughed up because, again, for the safety of the coaches and the athletes and for the good of the game and for the fans who like watching these multi-million-dollar athletes. I mean, what's the value of a Wemby? How many billions is that dude worth? You can't have some clown running out there and potentially. What if he wanted to go, hey, you know what? I'm a Knicks fan, and I'm not sure we're going to win. Let me run out on the court and stab him. See how that goes.
What I'm pointing out, too, is that there are other moments where there have been fans who ran onto the field. It was a different world. Hank Aaron, when he hit his record-breaking 715th home run, there were 2 white men that ran onto the field.
But they could be white.
And the point is that they knew that there had been threatening letters sent to Aaron.
No, they didn't want him to break it.
They said those 2 guys ran onto the field thinking that they might actually save Hank Aaron from being assassinated at that moment. So they're slapping him on the back. But that's one of the most iconic moments in American sports, more so than playing Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And there were 2 people that ran onto the field on national television and were not killed.
That was a long time ago.
That's what I'm saying. It's a different world.
Well, we should know better by now, and we got to have better security.
It's the same world that Morgana lived in.
I need it again.
Well,
if you say Morgana one more time, I'm going to turn your mic off.
But it's the same idea.
It's not.
It's
Phil,
people running on to a field of competition.
That was in the 80s. And
that was the 70s.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about Morgana.
That's when she did it too. That's when she started.
Into the 80s. Yes.
And then she started getting paid for it, and then it was just part of the attraction. So part of the attraction could be is the people run on the court, and then somebody beats the crap out of them.
No, that's what I need.
To your point, they would see this. Someone who is crazy enough to maybe want to go do that is the one that sees that and is like, oh, they just calmly removed them away.
Yeah.
Or they let them get that close. I could easily go up and
1,000
shank somebody.
Or even if you just he got a selfie, I'm going to go get a selfie with Jalen Brunson.
And it won't stop, yeah. So the soccer players, this has been happening in international soccer for years. And Messi and Ronaldo are too big of a name and too big of an entity, but they allow it. Like when it happens, now granted, some of them are kids, but there have been adults too, and the security will come sprinting up and they're like, no, whoa, don't. And so I worry that maybe Wemby kind of was like, hey, let him, it's okay. But that's setting a bad precedent, just like you're saying too.
Messi had an incident not that long ago, I think, where a guy ran out during
many times.
But didn't he literally just take the photo with him though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is Messi is like, let him do it, it's okay, and then they get gently escorted off instead of form tackled out there either.
I've said this forever. I'll say it till I'm dead. You do not belong on the field to play. There's a price to pay, and that is blood, sweat, and tears preparing as a top-level athlete or going through hell as a coach and all the things you got to stress and worry about. That's how you earn your way onto the field to play. Once it's said and done, I'm not a big field storm, court storm guy either. I'll be fine with that. I can live with it. It's not my favorite thing in the world. I also don't like dog piles, but that's a different story for another day. But I can live with the post-game stuff. But in the middle of a game, again, I need an example made of this kid. And I want dragged off the court by his hair.
What was it was a heavyweight boxing title. I think it was Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield. Remember the guy who parachuted into the boxing ring in the middle of a round, and they beat the stuffing out of him for doing it.
That takes some balls, man. My goodness.
Well,
you got to give an A for execution.
But these are people that at that moment are just trying to steal the spotlight.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we live in a look-at-me society, and I can't stand look-at-me people anyway. Those are the purest of look-at-me people.
Yeah, like that post is going to go around. We're going to see that selfie.
Here's the other thing I want. I want you to confiscate his phone, and I want you to delete the video. So he also has no record of his stupid little antics. So that's another thing that needs to happen. Like the guy that was filming us in a restaurant a couple nights ago.
It was either early last baseball season or this season. A guy ran onto a major league field to be filmed asking his fiancee to marry him, and I think he's been banned from that stadium for the rest of his life. At that moment,
you're supposed to call the administration, work it out, and propose in the stands like a normal person.
Yes, embarrass her like everybody else embarrasses.
Like a normal
fiancé.
dweeb.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's not the worst thing. If you're both huge fans of a team and you decide to get engaged at a game, I don't have a huge issue with that. But you got to have it coordinated. You can't be running on the field doing it.
I will never forget the moment in Midland, Texas, that I saw a girl say yes to a marriage proposal, and then 5 innings later, she was out in the parking lot crying because she decided to renege.
Yes. Well, I think I've also seen one where the guy asked and she said no. That's an awkward. That's a matzo ball sitting out there.
I think we might want to go home early from the game.
Probably so. I mean, one of you do. The other one can stay.
Stay home. Stay here and drink this
a lot of
beers.
I was going to say, a lot of $18 beers going down tonight, baby. Paul Simmons joining us after the break, the former head coach of Harding University, national champion, going to join us in studio. So we'll visit with him, talk to him about his new role at Harding and whatever else he wants to get into. Red White Report brought to you by UMS Health Ortho Now. Speaking of, Dr. O'Malley will join us. If you have orthopedic questions, he will join us with the answers. And we're going to talk about some sports injuries as well. And if you've got any off the top of your head that you want to talk about, what's the recovery time for a hamate bone, Phil? I want to ask him about that. Mayor Scott will join us today. We will talk to him. I'm sure he's very excited about what's happening with Little Rock. We'll find out what's going on with their police chief search as well. Barry McKnight, you set up, the voice of the Troy Trojans.
Longtime voice of the Troy Trojans. And that'll be a fun conversation. They've got a ballpark that's not that much larger than Gary Oaken Field.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think it's been renovated. Probably has larger seating area, but not by that much.
We will also talk to Evan Lee, the pitching coach for the Little Rock Trojans. That's at 11:10-ish. And then at the end of the show, well, towards the end of the show, 12:30, we will talk to Nico Baumbach, who I have a hard time not calling Brumbaugh because we interviewed Carson Brumbaugh the entire season. Nico's got an interesting story, though. He has been in college baseball for a long time. And I don't know what happened last year, but I'm going to ask him. He was at Little Rock, then he went to like a community college or a JUCO, and then he came back for his last year. It's an interesting story. I don't know what the deal is there, but we'll ask him. Stick around. It's 10:30.
10 Fitness brings you Top 10 Tuesdays with The Zone. Each week, Justin and Phil will dive into a different Top 10 list and take your calls. Brought to you by 10 Fitness. Turn back the clock on gym prices.
This is SportsCenter.
Yesterday in Major League Baseball, the Phillies' Christopher Sanchez scoreless inning streak ended at 50 2/3 innings as he allowed a run in the 7th inning of their matchup against the Padres. He still got the win as the Phillies won 3-2, while he also got 8 strikeouts. His streak is the 3rd best in the live ball era, dating back to 1920. Oral Hershiser went 59 straight innings in 1988, while Don Drysdale had a 58-inning streak in 1968. The last time Sanchez had allowed a run was against the Giants on April 30th. And the Arkansas Travelers beat the Corpus Christi Hooks 12-9 to open the series 2-0. They'll play the 3rd game of the series tonight at 6:35. Radio coverage can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Floyd Seafood, Keel Avenue, Sherwood, has live Louisiana crawfish. It's the last week for live crawfish. Order by 2 o'clock Thursday for your weekend. Floyd Seafood in Sherwood, your homesick Cajun headquarters for live crawfish. Order by 2 o'clock Thursday.
Hi, this is Quinn Grover. When you need expert health care, UAMS Health is here for you. From cancer and heart care to neurology, obstetrics, orthopedics, and more, UAMS Health provides advanced care across a wide range of specialties, backed by research, innovation, education, and a commitment to improving lives. That's care you can trust. From UAMS Health, the official orthopedics and sports medicine provider for Razorback Athletics. For appointments, call 501-686-8000.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Shipments of spring and summer fashions are arriving at Bell & Sword. That means swimwear from Saks, Peter Noir golf wear and shirts, Johnny O's store within a store. Be sure to check out the Faraday line and Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. So hurry in for a great value on quality men's clothing at Bell & Sword for your spring and summer items, and you'll look fantastic. Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street in downtown Conway on Facebook and Instagram.
Why should we feel the burn when we work out? We should feel the bounce, not the burn. The bounce in your step that comes when joining the Little Rock Athletic Club or Racket Club. Variety and excitement, you found it. People will witness the fitness.
Let's get back to more of the show in the Oaklawn Hot Springs studio with your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson.
Just say it'll be good, man.
It'll be good, man. On the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back in Zone 1033. Our actual zone quest today is not, do you think they should have pummeled the kid on the court that ran out there during the game?
They can change that.
But the actual question today is about something that we're going to talk to Paul Simmons about here momentarily. And also I have a bit of news that is going to break your heart and Moose's. And I'm not one that gets excited about being the bearer of bad news, but I also felt like it was appropriate. It's a dovetail off of our conversation yesterday about fast food sauces. So anyway, what is the question of the day, Mr. Elson?
Well, it's because at the Senate hearings yesterday, there was a lot of talk about a college football super league. The Notre Dame athletic director, Bavakwa, has said that that's the way that you can actually pool media rights together to make more money from your media rights. But then he's quick to say, "But I don't want a super league." Apparently, the SEC and the Big Ten have come out with a joint statement, essentially, trying to say, "Well, we don't want this bill, we don't want the super league either." Do you think that a super league would be a good thing for college football? Okay. That is the question of the day.
All I will advocate for is I think there should be another championship level, and that's always been my contention.
And I think part of this also is like, what would the number of teams be, right? Like, how do you separate Division I college football from Division I college football again?
Could you make a super conference with 4 divisions and split it up that way?
Yeah, you could do it with 64 teams in 8 different divisions of 8 teams.
Are there 64 super conference worthy teams, though?
Well, if you put the Power 4 together and add Notre Dame, you may come up with that number or close to it.
I don't think so.
If you look it up, it's not far from it.
And then what do you do with I guess they're basketball schools primarily, even though some of them play football in the lower level. But anyway, I don't know. That's a debate we have to get into the numbers. I wanted to point out to you guys something. We talked about, what's one of your favorite places? We talked about chicken at length yesterday. And what did you guys advocate for?
Anything but Cane's.
And what was one that you talked about?
Zaxby's.
Right. I saw this in the Democrat Gazette today, and I thought of you guys. And I'm not celebrating it. I don't like it when places close or people lose their jobs. But outlets of Zaxby's chicken fingers and buffalo wings in Sherwood and in Jacksonville apparently have closed, according to this report.
I did notice that.
Yeah. They said they got no answer at the restaurants. So I was like, well, I got to tell the boys they're going to be devastated. Also, I read in there, not one single location of Cane's has closed.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
They're marketing to every college person in America. They have the most famous athletes out and actors out all the time to every opening. They're huge. Not the one on University, apparently. But yeah, they're putting some serious money into that.
The one on University not there anymore?
No, I meant they didn't have the cool opening. They didn't have Livy Dunn didn't show up to the one on University. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I think there's a major difference between the idea of a business plan being genius and whether or not I like the food.
Okay, that's fair.
Agreed.
Yeah. There was
the business aspect doesn't change that they have bland chicken.
When I worked at number 7, Channel 7 back in the day, there was a channel number 7, engine number 9. There was a local station that I didn't think was particularly good, but their marketing was phenomenal. And I was like, it's like in the Tommy Boy, was like, all you're getting is a guaranteed piece of crap. You can put a bow on it all you want to, but anyway.
No, but it's your bowl.
Yes, I was biased, but still. All right, Paul Simmons, without further ado, joining us, the championship coach from Harding, is now in a different role, but he looks pretty much the same. Are you? You've always been a pretty relaxed guy, Coach. Do you feel less stressed as a guy who doesn't have to take care of 100-plus dudes all the time?
Well, I tell you what, the stress and anxiety is it definitely is much better. When you have always been a pretty relaxed dude, that tells me you don't know me very well. But different lifestyle, and it's been really good for my family, and it's been good for my marriage, and I just hope it ends up being really good for the Bisons as well, and I think it will.
Yeah. Well, it was obviously a seamless transition when you took over as the head coach, and hopefully it goes as well in the next iteration. So tell us about your current role and how that looks.
Well, my title is general manager, which is not a common title in Division II. It is in Division I. Honestly, I don't have any new tasks. I'm doing the exact things that I was doing before, but I have time to do them now. Mm-hmm. Roster management, and we have a situation in Division II that's in some ways is similar to what Division I is dealing with now, in that let's say that Arkansas has $20 million of NIL money, and then they got to figure out how to build a roster with that. Okay. And so if you go out and you spend too much on a quarterback, then you got to figure out how to make that all fit. We have the same situation, but we're dealing with 36 scholarships. But it's the same mentality of, where can I find value, bargain pieces, and then I can go out and get some home run guys with the big money. But that's a giant part of my job. Obviously, a huge part of my job is actually raising money, both for our operating budget. I raise money to help us keep a fantastic coaching staff. And then we also are one of the only Division II schools in the country that actually have a collective. And so raising money is a giant part of that. And a lot of things I have time to do now I couldn't have done before. My wife and I flew to Boise a month ago to see a donor who has sent us a really awesome gift 3 years in a row, and I don't know him.
Big potato money?
Yeah, I don't know his. Actually, I figured out it's horse racing money.
Really?
Interesting enough, and lumber.
Okay.
But I didn't know him, and I wouldn't have time to go see him as the head coach, but I do now, and so, I still wake up every morning, trying to figure out how the Bisons can be elite.
And you are, I guess, about to put on a camp too. Is that going on?
Well, we're right in the middle of camp season, and this is probably not an exaggeration. Maybe the best thing I do is run this kids camp. We have the best kids camp in the country. Of course, I'm pretty biased, but we had one just ended yesterday. We had 110 awesome young men, and we have one that starts on Monday, 2nd grade through 7th grade. And I'm telling you, it's wild. Justin, Monday night after day one of camp, I was asleep at 7:30. My wife had something to do, which was a blessing. I was asleep at 7:30. I'm getting a little bit too old for it, but we bring the energy, and it's a great time. Yeah,
it's not just football camp this week, though. We got some hoops up there, I understand, this week.
I tell you what, we do have a neat deal. Greg Rowden, Sonic, his guys are bringing Coach Calipari to campus Saturday. Have a kids camp Saturday, and still have room for kids to sign up.
Oh, wow.
3 to 6. I think it's grades 1 through 7, and so we're excited about that for sure.
There's so much talk, Coach Simmons, in college sports that it's an enterprise that can't continue on the path that it is on currently. But so often, all the other divisions get lumped into the big idea of college sports. If you separate Division II football from the deal that we've got going on in Division I right now, do you ever feel like it's an enterprise that can't continue to operate the way that it operates, or is Division II football and Division II sports in a healthy spot?
Well, I would agree that Division I is on a collision course and it can't continue. But the vast majority of the problems that they have, we don't deal with. And actually, speaking of Harding specifically, all of the chaos in the country has benefited us. It really has, because for almost everybody in the country, if they bring in a long, tall, underdeveloped kid, and they spend 3 years getting that guy ready to be an absolute dude for them, well, that guy leaves, right? Division II schools have not been able to keep those guys home, but we have, and I hope that continues. But I mean, we had a young man, Justin Sobsack. I mean, he's 6'6", 250-pound DN from Cabot, an elite young man. He walked in with tears in his eyes 2 months ago, and there was a street agent that reached out to him, and there was a Big Ten school that said, if you go in the portal, we got big money for you. And he didn't want to leave. Well, turns out I knew the coach. I knew the school. So I called him, and I said, Coach, I got a lot of respect for you. Are you pursuing my guy illegally? And right away he said, Coach, I was told he was in the portal. I said, well, he's not. But it's really rare to be able to keep that kind of young man. So, Division II is not. We're not being outbid by other Division II schools.
Yeah.
But the issue that so many programs are being viewed as just a feeder for the bigger schools. And I tell you what, a lot of schools, even in our conference, that's their sales pitch. Come to us, we'll develop you, and then you can go make big money. But we're the opposite. We don't want to do that.
Coach, you have a unique perspective as a guy who really understands football at a deep level and also has a son playing at the University of Arkansas. And we've only got a limited amount of time with Coach Silverfield, and I want to get your thoughts on your interactions with him and then also what your hopes are for your son this coming season after we hit the break, if that's cool.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll talk a little more football with Coach Simmons. If you got a question for him, you can call us at 661-1037. We'll be back after the break. You can also hit us up on the text line, same phone number. It's brought to you by Middleton Eaton Air and Our live fan feedback's open through our Listen Live button as well. That is presented by Rainbow Restoration. And this segment's brought to you in part by our friends over at Cash. If you're looking for a great spot for lunch, and I think we're all around here getting hungry, although Phil usually knocks out some breakfast time. Cash is a great spot for lunch, great place for dinner, great place for special events. If you want a national championship like Coach did, it's a great place to go celebrate that. CashLittleRock.com is the website, C-A-C-H-E, LittleRock.com. Or maybe if Little Rock makes it to the World Series, you want to grab a bunch of friends and head over there and celebrate their success as well. For any big occasion or any no occasion, it's Thursday. That's a good enough reason to go to Cash. Great appetizers, fantastic specials, outstanding drinks, awesome service, great space. Well, what do you want from a dining experience? It's always on point at Cash in downtown, and free valet parking in the evening time as well at Cash. It's 10:45, a little more Paul Simmons on the other side of the break. You're in the zone on the Buzz Radio Network.
Hi folks, it's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sherwood. When you're in the market for a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram, we hope you give us a chance to earn your business. Here's some things to consider. Fletcher Dodge has been family-owned dealer here in Sherwood for over 25 years. We know how to take care of our customers to keep them coming back. Every Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram dealer pays the same price for their vehicles. It's the dealer that makes the difference. We'll give you the best deal up front. No haggling, no arguing. We make it easy to buy a new vehicle, and we'll pay you more for your trade-in. Compare our deal to anybody's, and you'll buy from us. Come see us today for the deal of a lifetime on new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram. At Frank Fletcher Dodge, you'll always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. And we promise you a hassle-free buying experience. We want to be your dealer for life. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Just tell us what you're looking for and we'll make you a deal. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
The Little Rock Trojans are in the Super Regional for the first time. Join the Zone tomorrow from 10 to 1 at Brewski's Pub and Grub in Lakewood Village for a preview of the series with Troy.
This is Trey Johnson with HJ Trailer Sales. Spring is here, and y'all have made us the #1 truck bed dealer in the state. We want to thank you for your support and business. If you're looking for the best customer service from folks that can handle any type of trailer and take care of you after the sale, with hometown service, it's HJ Trailer Sales. Our team will handle all your service and warranty needs. See what great customer service looks like at HJ Trailer Sales on Albert Pike in Hot Springs, or check us out on Facebook.
Roger Scott for FanDuel. Who do you think will be wearing the ring at the end of the NBA Finals? Take your shot with FanDuel, and you just might be celebrating a victory of your very own. Right now, new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel is the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. Play your game any way you want. Seek out individual player markets for baskets and rebounds, or build an epic same-game parlay for a chance at a bigger payout. It's up to you. And best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. So are you ready to play your game? Just visit FanDuel.com/Arkansas to join now and get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. 21 plus and present in Arkansas. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get in the conversation with live fan feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on the Zone by Rainbow Restoration. When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, damage from water, smoke, fire, or mold, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. RainbowRestores.com. They restore, you recover.
Welcome back to The Zone, live from the Oaklawn Hot Springs studio with your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson.
I'd listen to that on the radio.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how Rough Riders roll. Stop.
All right, we are back in the zone. We got another dozen minutes or so with Paul Simmons, the former head coach, current GM. That's interesting to get used to. Are there other schools you know of in the GAC, coach, that are following that plan with adding a GM to the administrative staff?
I don't think there's another GM in Division II,
Okay.
and I hope they don't start that trend. We won't be the only ones.
Does this mean you start wearing suits to the stadium and everything like that? You change how you look?
No. I won't change how I look. You know, it's hard to dress up an old pig, I can promise you.
I just picture a general manager, slick back hair, you know.
Yeah.
all that.
No,
you don't fit the bill.
It'd be hard to slick back the hair.
That's the wrong picture, I promise you.
So I want to ask you about Coach Silverfield, as you've got a son, obviously, that's playing for him in Fayetteville, and your interactions with him, your, I guess, sort of your impression of him, and then maybe expectations even for the coming season with him. It's just, look, we know, I don't care if you put Vince Lombardi in his prime up there. It's a tough gig right now in the environment we're in. But what are your impressions of Coach Silverfield and your hopes for your son and for him?
Yeah, well, I tell you, because of my new role, I think I was at 5 practices this spring, which was really neat, and a few observations. One thing that I think is fantastic and needed and appreciated is every practice that I was at, there was a lot of former Razorback legends there.
Mm-hmm.
They were everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
was smart and a great move.
I think they cast a really wide net there.
Yeah, no,
I think they contacted everybody.
That's an awesome effort. And I tell you what else, every time I was there with 2 or 3 or 4 guys that either are currently or could be really good donors. But this is Silverfield's first spring, man. He's got a lot going on, but I'm telling you now, he went out of his way every single time to come over to engage, to make us feel welcome and wanted, because there's a lot of people there. But so did the entire staff. I'm standing there off to the side, and a guy walks up and introduces himself, and we're visiting. I said, "So what's your role here?" I thought he was I didn't know. He said, I'm coaching the quarterbacks. And he had gone out of his way, and that's being very, very intentional.
Sure.
Probably the biggest thing is it's really clear that Coach Silverfield is working like crazy to do, unfortunately, the most important thing, which is gather resources to raise money. He is hustling, he's working, he's shaking hands, he's doing what he has to do to have a chance. And I respect that a great deal, and it's going to pay off. Wyatt's fired up. Wyatt really likes Silverfield. He loves Ron Roberts. I don't know if you guys know or not, but Ron Roberts is an extremely respected defensive coordinator. So Wyatt has really enjoyed getting to be around him and that change. And but at the end of the day, there's 2 things that really dictate your winning. Most important thing by far is your schedule, and the Hogs' schedule is really, really tough.
Mm-hmm.
And the number 2 thing is, in the SEC, you either have a quarterback and a chance to win, or you don't. And we're gonna find out about that. But I think they're going to be better in lots of places, and the changes are really positive. But it's a process, and it takes time.
Well, one of the things that is on Arkansas's schedule is Utah, and Utah has been a perennially tough place to play and a really good program. They're under new leadership this year, and so not really sure what to expect there with their former head coach going to Michigan this year. I do think there will be a little different feeling in Ann Arbor than there has been in the last couple of years, with all due respect to Coach Moore, if he deserves it. I'm curious what you think the iteration of Harding will look like. Is it going to be extremely similar? Will there be some noticeable differences, or what do you expect?
Well, first of all, Harding plays on Thursday night when Arkansas plays at Utah. So
Okay.
my wife and I, we're going to Utah. I can't wait. I'm fired up.
It's beautiful out there.
Harding will look identical on defense. Last year we led the nation in points allowed. They'll be lead on defense. They'll be really, really similar on offense. There'll be small tweaks and changes. Obviously, we're replacing a quarterback that is tied for the most college wins in history, and Braden Jay, who's the most elite ball carrier we ever had. But I'm telling you now, this crew, they signed a freshman group that is fantastic. If you don't know the name Jeff Regan from Rogers, you will. He's unbelievable. He rushed for 250 against Bryant as a quarterback in the state semifinals.
That's all I need to know.
He's 5'7". He is a war daddy, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see the next chapter. But they're going to keep on being fantastic. I promise you.
I got a question from our text line. Ask Coach Simmons if there are volunteer opportunities. Arkansas Family Alliance serves families across Arkansas, and we could use some string backs from time to time to help deliver and set up beds and furniture. Oh, strong backs, I'm sure is what you meant. So volunteer opportunities, I think, for your players. Do they do volunteer hours?
Well, I tell you what, we most people have a collective, and all that means is they're paying players.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have a collective where our guys have to put in a great amount of hours to earn anything, and it's called Bison Strong. That's a pretty good name.
Mm-hmm.
But we are looking for opportunities to bless others around us, and gain those hours. Their favorite way is Bison Buddies, which Bison Buddies is where they adopt an elementary classroom. They go 2 days a week and read to those guys and engage there. But, we definitely look for ways to be a blessing to the community.
Let me ask Coach the question of the day.
Yeah.
Just like how you feel about the idea of a super league for college football, if that's something that you think would be attractive for Division I, or just kind of figure it out the way they're trying to figure it out now.
Well, I don't like the idea, but I don't think there's any doubt that that's where we're going. The money, the haves and the have-not, that gap is going to get bigger and bigger. But now, as far as all being part of the same league, I don't understand that. But the things we're seeing happen in baseball, like it's awesome what ULR is doing right now in baseball. But that can't happen in football. You don't see that kind of an upset. It's a different situation, and a mid-level school cannot compete with an LSU or a Michigan with the money and the depth, and so the Super League is probably going to happen whether we like it or not, unless we change the way money is being handed out.
There's 68. Schools if you combine all Power 4 leagues. That does not count Notre Dame, so then there would be 69. 64, nice. And then there would be 64 would be the number that you need for 8 divisions of 8 teams in each of them.
Okay.
So someone's going to get cut if you do it that way. Or the number's 32, and a lot of those schools get cut. And I don't know how you do this. I really have no idea how you do this.
And then what does it look like when you get to basketball season? Do you play traditional conferences?
Exactly. I don't know. I mean, if you're creating a college football super league, and this is the sport that funds all the other sports, but you're separating it in a business sense from all the others, I don't know how that happens.
It's a subdivision. It's a different division because, like, you've got, in Division I, you've got the FCS and the FBS, right? So, I mean, football is a separate entity to some degree, because they're all Division I basketball teams. They're all Division I baseball teams, but football's a different animal.
It is. I think the word would be paradigm shift. It was really the phrase, because it would be a completely new. If you think that the model that you have now for college sports is really weird and screwed up, well, taking college football out of college sports would be a completely different model that I don't think anybody's even willing right now to figure out how you do that.
Coach, we need to hit the top of the hour here, and we're going to let you go. Anything else you want to hit on before we get out of here? We're talking about camps. How do people get, if they want to get one of their kids in? And you mentioned there's still room for Coach Cal's camp, too? Is that the case?
There's room for Coach Cal's camp. The football camp is fantastic, and there's room there as well. HardingFootballCamps.com. If you drive from Little Rock and come to Searching for Camp, I promise you're gonna love it. You're gonna love the change you see in your son over 3 days with us, because football is a tiny part of it. I mean, we're going to send him home with a renewed attitude, effort, intensity, humility, grateful spirit. It'll be worth your time, I promise you.
You want to keep your kid from running out on an NBA court during an NBA Finals game? Send him to Harding's camp.
There
that
you
kind
go.
of nonsense will not enter his mind. Coach, thank you. It was great to see you.
Man, thanks for the chance, guys. I really appreciate it.
Enjoy your summer. You got 20 seconds. What's the number one thing you're looking forward to that you couldn't have done as the head coach?
Man, September 20th, I'm going to get on a plane. I'm going to Montana with 3 donors. We're going to catch giant trout. It's going to be unbelievable. I'm going to come back on Friday, watch my son Tanner play, watch the Hogs on Saturday, watch the Bisons on Saturday. Let it rip, baby.
Our financial hotline. Dial 501-381-5228 and leave a voicemail with your specific financial question, and our experts will answer it on the Get Ready for the Future show Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Get your financial questions answered by the pros. 501-381-5228. Call now. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Independent Advisor Alliance. Independent Advisor Alliance and Genwealth Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Ever wonder what bugs do when you're not looking? With Bugtopia at the Little Rock Zoo, the world beneath your feet gets big. Like real really big. Meet the bugs that pollinate, build, and buzz our planet to life, up close and larger than ever. Bugtopia, crawling into the Little Rock Zoo March 21st through September 20th. It's wonder magnified and included with your zoo admission. Learn more at littlerockzoo.com.
Chris Kane joins Morning Mayhem each Monday to mix it up with the guys. Chris Kane on Morning Mayhem is presented by Trader Bill's. Trader Bill's, your one-stop shop for all things lake.
1037 The Buzz.
You know how I am. You guys know how I am. I don't forget anything.
Crushing all the competition.
So you can take that to the bank.
Buzz News with KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
New state data shows that meth has overtaken fentanyl as the leading drug in overdoses in Arkansas. The Arkansas State Crime Lab says meth was involved with 47% of drug-related deaths in 2023 and jumped to 54% so far this year. During the same time, fentanyl dropped from 43% to 16%. Officials still warning about the dangers of both drugs. They say Narcan can often reverse fentanyl overdoses, but there is no similar option for meth overdoses. In other news, Meals on Wheels is closing in Benton County after more than 40 years. Leaders say rising grocery costs, fewer donations, and a shortage of volunteers made it difficult to keep going. The president says he hopes a new generation of leaders and volunteers will find a way to bring the program back. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
Listen for Champs and Chumps on Fridays during the Zone. Brought to you by Washita Bar and Grill on Central Avenue in Hot Springs and BKC Home Builders, building premier homes in Hot Springs.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
A 30% chance of rain showers today, maybe a thunderstorm. Otherwise, just mostly cloudy, muggy, and a high of 84 degrees. Tonight, warm and muggy, mostly cloudy, down to 68. Tomorrow, warmer up to 87 with a very slight chance of a shower, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
This is Justin Acri. If shoulder or elbow pain is affecting your daily life, the fellowship-trained physicians at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health are here to help. They offer advanced care for injuries, arthritis, rotator cuff problems, and more, helping you feel better, move better, and get back to everyday life. Call 501-686-TOSH today to schedule your appointment. That's 501-686-8674. The doctor will see you now.
Looking for a lunch spot that's fast, fun, and won't wreck your wallet? Head to Brewski's Pub and Grub with locations in downtown Little Rock and North Little Rock. The Brewski's Babes are serving up ice-cold drinks, smash burgers, loaded fries, wings, wraps, and more. Fast enough for your lunch break and priced right every day of the week. Escape the office and grab lunch with friends. Brewski's, the spot for good vibes, great food, and quick service. Brewski's Downtown and Brewski's North Little Rock open daily at 11. Brewski's, your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. The recent death of Ted Turner reminds us of the outsized influence the mouth of the South had on America and the world. Turner essentially invented 24-hour news, owned the Atlanta Braves and Hawks, and became one of the biggest landowners and conservationists in U.S. history. He also married Jane Fonda, which inspired the late Louis Grizzard's great line, "Who introduced these two? Ho Chi Minh?" The next time you feel snowed under by the endless news loop, raise a glass to Captain Courageous. Doublebee's has 34 locations across Arkansas with friendly folks, ATMs for your convenience, and a dazzling array of delectable noshes and drinks. That's because Doublebee's is where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Take it from Arkansas greats, Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
Still Arkansans' fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
Around here, reputation matters. That's why homeowners and businesses trust CertaPro painters. From detailed residential work to professionally managed commercial projects, CertaPro delivers craftsmanship to protect your investment. Visit CertaPro.com, that's Certa with a C, and reserve your spring project today.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hawks Homes has custom-built, manufactured homes under $100 per square foot. They have hundreds of floor plans available to fit your family's needs. Homes start as low as $39,995. They can finance your new home together with land so you can have one easy payment. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 bedrooms available for immediate delivery. You can view their inventory online at hawkshomes.net. Let their family help your family. Hawks Homes, Bryant and Conway. Rick Schaefer on Morning Mayhem, presented by Bradford Marine and ATV. Select 2025 Sea-Doo personal watercraft up to $4,000 in discounts, and 2026 Sun Trackers up to $2,250 in savings. BradfordMarine.com.
You're in the zone. Arkansas's longest-running midday sports talk show, coming to you live from the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio. Oaklawn, Arkansas's only casino resort.
20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
With your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson, on the Buzz Radio Network.
Feels so unlike everybody else, alone in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know, but no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go. Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still even him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him because he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, got a picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote. His will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds. The skill of an artist. This is 20% skill, 80% gear, be 100% clear. Cause Ryder was ill. Who would have thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse. Let's do this the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots. His stocks through the roof. I heard him with that. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentration.
All right, we're back. Quick Red White Report. Special guest on the Jim's Razorback Pizza Hotline. We will talk a little Trojan baseball. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Pardon me. The top 25 Little Rock Trojan baseball program will be discussed on this very show momentarily with their pitching coach, Evan Lee.
You always have to make sure you throw in the Little Rock aspect of it, too, because there's 3 Trojans playing baseball this weekend.
There's only one that matters to me, my friend.
True.
And there will only be 2 at most standing after this weekend, thankfully.
The Red White Report is brought to you by Ortho Now, your walk-in solution for orthopedic care at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health.
Well, in this era of roster movement, I saw Arkansas got some good news in softball, Phil. I'm sure you probably saw this as well.
I did. I see Ella McDowell and Peyton Burnham are returning for their junior seasons. It's not odd. It's just because this is what this whole thing is in existence for. These announcements are being made by the Razorback front office, and they're showing photos of these young ladies signing their contracts for the upcoming season. It feels like pro sports.
Well, I'm excited that they're coming back. McDowell had a great year. First team All-American, 118 games, started in her career, and had a really good season this year. And then Burnham, We saw her pitch in the postseason, did a really nice job. So good to have those two key pieces back. And again, there's only a handful of programs you'd even consider leaving Arkansas for, I would guess, unless there's a lesser-than program that wants to give you piles of money and you have to consider it. I get that. In this area, you never know what's going to move the needle for student-athletes, but I'm certainly glad that they're returning for Coach Deifel's sake. Any news on baseball? Any movement there?
Just see Ethan McIlvain has been named to Stopper of the Year Award finalist. That's put out by the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. He's a second-team All-SEC. Pitcher, 6-0 record, 6 saves, 103 ERA. He will be drafted this next year. Outside of that, there are no announcements of any more. I don't think there is anybody that can hop in the portal any longer. There aren't a lot of returning players potentially. And no updates on anybody that is signed yet. Keep in mind that there are still 16 teams playing, which there could very well be some attractive players that end up in the portal too from these 16 teams. So it just makes it for a very interesting month and a half in college baseball.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to the Jim's Razorback Pizza Hotline. Standing by is the Little Rock Trojan pitching coach, Evan Lee, who we got to see at practice this week, but didn't get a chance to have him on. And they have now made the trip to Troy, and I wanted to get Coach on to talk about the setting there and the expectations for the weekend. And I'm sure he's had a chance to delve a little bit more into the matchup as well. Coach, welcome. How are you?
Oh, doing great. How are y'all?
We're good. Everybody around here is pretty much Trojan crazy right now. Everybody's excited about what's going on with you guys, locked in, looking forward to 4 o'clock tomorrow. Hard to believe it's already here, but how was the trip down, and what's it been like since you guys arrived in Troy?
Well, first and foremost, it was amazing. We took 2 charter planes down. So being a mid-major program, you're used to the charter bus, but not the charter plane. And so I was spoiled a little bit as a player, but being able to get down here in 2 charter planes, take the charter bus over to the hotel, and we'll get over there about 2 o'clock today to get a nice light practice in, get about an hour and a half workout in. It's sunny and 85 down here for the weekend here in Troy, Alabama, and so, hey, it's the Trojan War down here. We're ready to go. All you got to do is the best 18 innings of your life, and you get to Omaha.
Absolutely. Well, let me start by congratulating you. The Baseball Writers Association released their top 25 poll, and there I see the Little Rock Trojans at number 19. Pretty amazing stuff. And I don't know if you guys have ever been in the top 25 before, but I certainly can't recall if it ever happened. Not to mention, not to step on toes, but ranked ahead of Arkansas in this latest poll. And then you're looking up at Troy here, number 15 in the poll as well, with Georgia number 1 taking over the top spot from UCLA, a team that had a tough regional weekend. But what's that mean to the program to get a ranking like that, a top 20 ranking?
Oh, it just shows the helium that's the Little Rock baseball program, and that's just a testament to Coach Curry, Coach Gary Hogan, all the people that came before us that have built this program into what it is today. And so I'm just thankful to be a part. This is year 2 for me at Little Rock, and so Coach Curry is a joy and an honor to be able to coach with in the dugout, and there's no surprise why this program is the darling of college baseball right now. It's because of guys like Coach Curry and the players that we have that are going out there and laying it all on the line for the Trojans. And so it's a program to rally behind, and it's a program that embodies this state of Arkansas, of just blue-collar guys that are going to go out there and do what it takes to win a championship. And so we're looking forward to the challenge.
Evan, you got a Troy team that is on fire, scoring an average of 12.5 runs a game in a 4-game winning streak right now. So what sort of challenges does the Troy lineup present for your pitchers? What are they really good at, and what is it your guys have to focus on?
Yeah, so they're heavy left-handed lineup. There's a lot of power in there. Playing in this ballpark, it's almost like a reverse Fenway Park. So you've got a green monster in right that's a little shorter, and so you've got to be able to command the baseball away from these left-handed hitters. You got to be able to do a good job of neutralizing those. They've got the Sun Belt Player of the Year in Janicki right there up at the top of the lineup. So you got to be able to corral him, and so it's going to be a big-time challenge for us just to be able to mix and to be able to quality pitches down in the zone, because these guys have a lot of power, and if you make mistakes, you get behind in the count, they're going to make you pay for it. And so we're up for the challenge. We feel like we've got the guys to be able to get it done, and so now it's just being able to go out there and take it one pitch at a time, and don't see the light at the end of the tunnel until it gets there. It's just, hey, man, it's in the moment. You got to execute, and when you look up, hey, we've either won the ball game or at least we're in a tight ball game going into the ninth to be able to win it late.
If you guys go 3 games, how many pitchers would you anticipate using? How many guys are available, I guess, going into the weekend series?
Yeah, so we got 19 on the staff. Feel like that we've got a core group of about 8 or 9 guys that we feel very strongly with that have been bell cows for us all year. So just depends on the flow of the game, who will go in, but we're extremely confident in those guys at the top that when they're in there that they're going to give us a good chance to win. Feel like that we can mix and match and guys can roll back. So it's going to be the cream of the crop for us. It's more of it's a weekend series. It's not a tournament. So you're going to go with the guys that have got you there and the guys that have been able to dominate those 15 weekends that we played during the regular season. And so the normal group, I call them the 4 horsemen, obviously Josh Beasley, Tag Andrews, Isaac Avenue, and Gage Haley. Those are the cream of the crop coming out of our bullpen. Then you've got our starting pitching, Brandon Westmoreland on Friday night. He always gets us off to a great start. We're going to be in a good spot to be able to get into the bullpen on Friday night, which is crucial. If you shoot up your bullpen on Friday, it's a hard stretch going into the rest of the weekend. But we feel very strongly with our starting pitching, Brandon. Brigham Parker, a transfer from Kansas, and then Nick Bronzini, a transfer from LSU and Washington. Feel strongly about that group that they're going to be able to push, get us deep into games, and let that bullpen take us home.
Do you ever harken back to any of your experience, being in postseason series at Arkansas, the 2 years that you were there with this, or is this just something that's completely different?
Oh, no, absolutely. As a coach, obviously you're on the other side. You can't control it. You're calling pitches and you're scouting and you're doing all the things that you need to be prepared for that. But on the player side, it's just a completely different animal from an emotional standpoint, from a stress level standpoint. And so it's just about teaching them about experience, like being able to simplify it to like, hey, if we dominate the leadoff man, if we get the leadoff man out and then we dominate with 2 outs, that's going to put us in a great situation and a spot to be able to win the baseball game. And so that's what I've been harping on to these guys is like, hey, 2-out pitching is important and crucial when it comes to the postseason, because as you've seen around college baseball, man, there's been a lot of lightning struck with 2 outs. And so everybody, the 2-out hit will get you to baseball heaven. And so that's the biggest thing I've been harping on just from my experience in the postseason with our run to Omaha and being able to pitch in those regionals and be able to shut them out at 3:00 and things like that. Like, just things that you go back and you harp on is like, hey, like leadoff men out, no leadoff men walks, 2-out pitching in the postseason. That's where it really rears its ugly head if you have success or if you fail.
Yeah, 2-out hitting gets you to baseball heaven. Leadoff walks gets you to baseball hell. Justin, one of the things I love about this happens in baseball all the time, but the last year Evan played at Arkansas was 2018. They go to the College World Series that year, beat South Carolina to make it to Omaha. The pitching coach for that South Carolina team was Skylar Meade, who's the Troy head coach. So that was Evan's last year in college baseball, and that was Meade's first year as a pitching coach in the SEC. And now you guys are kind of going mano-a-mano.
Here we go. And so it's going to be awesome. And so just thinking back to that weekend, I mean, that was an incredible weekend for us. Obviously, we went on Friday, then Saturday, I believe we took a loss on Saturday, and then Sunday I feel like we jumped out to like a 10-0 lead in like the first 2 innings, and then it was kind of like, hey, like we just got to take us home. And so I can just remember being in that nightcap game once we finished up, and just the crowd and just the environment of knowing you're going to Omaha. And that's what I tried to share with the guys is just like, it's something special. It's something that you've dreamed about your entire life. And if you let it get to you and you think about the light at the end of the tunnel too fast, you'll stress yourself out, the anxiety, the stress, the trying to be perfect and trying to do something entirely special for the program. You just have to take it one day at a time, one pitch at a time, and just stay in the moment. The biggest thing is just be present. And so that's the biggest message for these guys is just stay in the present. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more media attention. There's going to be a lot of people texting. You got a lot of friends right now. And so it's just about staying in the moment, staying humble, and doing the things that have got you to this point in this year, which is just being able to go to work every day and dominate in the present.
Evan Lee, pitching coach at Little Rock, joining us again on the Jim's Razorback Pizza Hotline. And I've been really impressed by, and I talked to Coach Curry about this too, the way you guys have been able to execute under that pressure of postseason baseball. And, you know, last year was certainly a good experience for a lot of these guys, although they've got some newbies that are, weren't part of that action, I guess, last year. And from your perspective, being in that with so much on the line versus, playing a regular season game, which you still always put pressure on yourself. How much different is it, and how did you learn to sort of control your emotions, because you can't help but have a little different kind of adrenaline rush?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I tell the guys. It's like, hey, don't see it as anxiety. Don't see it as pressure and stress. See it as your body preparing itself to go to war. And so, it's just your body assisting in the fact that, it's going to prepare you for the moment. And so what you have to do is when you do get out there in that moment, you do have that kind of stress, you got to turn it into a challenge. You got to tell yourself, bring it on, because it could shift your mind from a stress high environment, with a lot of crowd and all the adrenaline that comes with the moment. You can turn it into a challenge. Before long, it's actually a superpower for you. Now you have adrenaline and you turn yourself into the challenge mode from a brain standpoint, and there you are. You're competing in the moment. And then it's just about executing from pitch to pitch and being fearless. I tell them all the time, it's the looser, more aggressive, fearless team is going to win. It's the guys that stove up, that are on their heels, that are worried about messing it up. There's not enough life or spin on the pitch. You hang it, and then you're laying in your bed at night and you lay your head on your pillow and you're just like, why was I in that frame of mind? And so I just tell my guys all the time, it's just like we prepare for this every single day with what we do, with our program, with our routine. We are fearless. We have an attitude. And when you get out there on the mound and you toe the rubber, we prepared for this all week. Now it's just about going out there and executing your pitch and doing what you do from pitch one of your throwing program all the way up to the leads into the moment. And so these guys, man, they bought into the process. They understand that it's just another game. And so it's just your body's way of preparing you to go to war. And so that's just how we've done it. And that's why we've been able to make the pitches that we've needed to make to get to this moment in the first place. And so it's just about continuing that process.
I'm curious about using guys outside their normal roles in postseason baseball. Again, it's all hands on deck. You got to do whatever you got to do to get there. But, I'm thinking like a day one starter that maybe throws 4 or 5 innings, and then you need somebody to help get you to the end in a day 3. Is that something that you guys consider as part of your strategy potentially?
Absolutely. Brandon Westmoreland, he was at Connor State Junior College before he was with us. He's used to doing that. He's used to being able to go out there for a 5-6 inning stretch and then turn right back around on 1 to 2 days rest and be able to throw for 30 pitches. That's what he did at Connors. It's not the recommended way, right. But he's been fortunate enough to be able to already be in that environment and be in that experience. And so just knowing that, he's been in the OVC tournament. We threw him out on game 1, and they turned right back around. He closes Eastern Illinois in the tournament final. And so he's been in that moment. There's a lot of, obviously in a weekend type environment now, you can kind of hey, if the game gets away from you a little bit, I wouldn't necessarily say pitch off, but you can throw your strike throwers to get you to the end of the game and save some guys that you would have threw in the moment. Because it isn't win or go home yet. You do have a little bit of some breathing room. But, hey, we feel confident in the guys that we do going to roll out there, giving us a chance to win the game. But all these guys, they understand the moment. They understand what it means to the program being here. And so everybody's going to lay it out on the line for the Trojans and for Little Rock.
310 down the right field line. You called it a reverse green monster. I love that, Evan. 310 down the right field line, 30-foot fence, left-hand hitting team. They built the team for the ballpark, obviously, and they get to play it in their home ballpark. Does that change anything? We already talked about the things you got to do as a pitcher, but does this change anything about it with this awkward dimension in right field?
It does a little bit. Obviously, we've already talked about it from a fielding standpoint. Our outfielders, once we get to practice today, we'll prep those guys for how it's going to deflect off the wall, just so we limit extra base hits. And then from a pitching standpoint, it's just obviously you got to go to your strengths. In the postseason, you got to ride what got you there. But there are some strategies to it. Just being able to, obviously, everybody's going to try and hook it down the line. That's just what they're going to try and do. So there's some strategy involved in that, knowing what they're trying to do to you and how we're going to answer that, and then ultimately how we're going to get these guys out in their ballpark because they are comfortable. We are the visitors coming in, but feel strongly with this group, with the pitchability and the mix that we do have, either starting pitching or out of the bullpen, that we're going to be able to pitch to that. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you don't pitch to your strengths. And so if it aligns with it, you roll with it. If you don't, well, you're gonna go with it. You're gonna go with what you're confident in. And so some guys match up perfectly. Some guys, you just got to go with what they do really well.
Coach, best of luck. We appreciate the time, and hopefully we will be talking about an even greater achievement when we get you on next week.
Absolutely. That's the plan. And so just thank you so much for your promotion of the program and what you do for Little Rock, and just can't thank you enough for your time.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, it's Evan Lee.
You realize how much I love listening to a guy who I called his games at Arkansas now talking like a coach and talking about being comfortable in the uncomfortable moments.
Mm-hmm.
I just love listening to that.
Yeah, Nico Baumbach will join us a little bit later in the show, and he is a very, very key piece on the offensive side for Little Rock. He is their leading hitter, batting .337 this year, and he will have to, and his mates will have to have a good weekend, obviously, to knock off a very hot Troy team right now. This is from the 870. I see a sponsored segment for Coach Simmons this coming fall. Guess what? If he wants to and we can get a sponsor, I'm all for it. Justin, if they create a super conference, I'm afraid Arkansas could get left out as we have not been competitive, talking about football super conferences.
Depends on the number of teams.
Yeah. I'd be concerned about my alma mater, too. I told you in the break.
Yes.
You know, schools like Iowa State, Oregon State, there's some schools that are not particularly sexy that would be in some trouble potentially.
Right now, Oregon State would be on the outside because they're not in one of those power conferences.
I think they're considered still that kind of level program, though, maybe, you know?
They were relegated. You know, it's just odd.
Yeah.
They tried to do it in soccer but had the most pushback, the most insane pushback, and they all bailed. It was the fans of the teams that were going into it that actually had as much problem as the fans of the teams being left out. And I think it's just because I think that even as fans, they think they'll kind of be left behind and it won't mean as much anymore.
That's the weirdest text I've ever gotten.
Well, read it.
I don't want to. Do you remember the soccer ref that was murdered on the field by the crowd? I don't remember his name, but he yellow carded a player. The player got in his face. The ref had a knife, stabbed the player. The player died, and the fans the next game rushed the field and killed the ref. Yeah, listen, soccer's a different beast. By the way, I saw a tweet, and if it's to be believed, then I believe that it is, that the young man who ran on the court last night during the NBA game that got me so incensed.
His buddy, too.
Has been banned. No, he's not dead. He's been banned from every NBA arena for life.
His buddy, too, a second individual, whoever helped him, has also been banned for life from every NBA arena.
And they must
what's
be
the
dropped.
charge?
They must be dropped down to face the Wrangler now.
What is the charge?
I think well, see, when you buy a ticket, you are accepting a license from the franchise.
No, for the buddy.
Oh, I don't know what he did.
Assisted him how?
Because it was a selfie. It wasn't like the guy took a photo.
What did he do?
I have no idea.
Maybe he set a screen on somebody to let him down there.
I mean,
maybe he got by a security guy.
Maybe did he trip the security guy? Did he give him his phone to use?
Did he use his Jedi mind trick on the security so that his buddy could go down?
You guys are something with this Star Wars references that have nothing to do with actual real life, but it's fun.
There was a Yankee fan at the World Series last year that interfered with a ball with Mookie Betts down the right field line. He got banned from Yankee Stadium for the rest of his life.
Yeah, two brothers. They ripped it out of his hand. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do not.
That's wild.
I believe you, though.
They felt real famous after that, too.
Well, they felt like they helped the team at first and were celebrated at first, and then they will never go to a Yankee game again.
Yeah.
They had good seats, too.
Yeah.
Steve Bartman didn't get a lifetime suspension or ban from Wrigley Field. He just kind of did it on his own.
Alex Gonzalez should be banned for life from Wrigley Field. He's the one that blew that game for them.
Yeah.
I still haven't forgiven him. It's okay. The Cubs have a lot bigger issues now. All right, maybe a little bit of our live fan feedback. NBA fan. I saw online the fan has been banned for life from all arenas. Thank you, Jackson. Appreciate it. Leonard, can Phil comment on the pitcher, Ty, coming from Rogers? Happy to see him heading to the Hill. Can you, Phil?
Ty from Rogers? I don't know who that is yet.
You're not familiar with the upcoming roster.
I got to double check on that. If they're high school pitchers, I don't really know much about them yet.
Not yet. Yeah, understandable. Completely understandable. All right, we're going to hit a break. When we return, Dr. O'Malley will join us from UAMS. We have Mayor Scott later in the hour, Nico Baumbach in the final hour, and am I missing something? Am I missing anything?
Barry McKnight.
Barry McKnight, the voice of the Troy Trojans. That's why Phil is here, to keep me on track. Thank you very much.
To a point.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Sometimes you're like, I don't want to be a part of that. I got to get out. All right, we're going to hit a timeout, and we'll return with Dr. O'Malley from UAMS. If you have an orthopedic question or issue, Dr. O'Malley is here to help, so you can call and ask him a question. This is free medical advice. How often do you get offered that? Not very. I'll tell you that right now. I will tell you that our friends at FanDuel are standing by. No orthopedic issue there. Maybe get carpal tunnel by going on your account too much, but they are here for the finals, and I'm talking about the NBA finals. And if you want to wager on them, FanDuel is a partner with the NBA, and they have all sorts of fun daily specials. And they have a really cool thing going on right now where if you take your shot, there's going to be money for you. Here's what you got to do. You bet $5. Trojan baseball. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. $5, 7 straight days. Turn his mic off. $5, 7 straight days, and you get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed. $5, 7 straight days. FanDuel is the best place to bet all your favorite players during the biggest event. Play your game any way you want. Seek out individual player markets for baskets and rebounds, or build an epic same-game parlay for a chance at a bigger payout. It's up to you. Best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. So if you're ready to play your game, go to FanDuel.com/Arkansas to get that $350 in bonus bets after you bet $5 for 7 consecutive days. You can obviously wager more than 5, but just saying. All right, we're back in a second.
Catch the Buzz's ticker on our social media platforms presented by Luxury Pool and Spa in Conway and Russellville, celebrating 50 years in business. LuxuryPoolArkansas.com.
This is SportsCenter.
In the Women's College World Series, the Texas Longhorns took down Texas Tech 7-3 last night in a rematch of last year's Women's College World Series. The Longhorns look to repeat as champions and will do so if they beat Texas Tech tonight. That game is at 7 o'clock on ESPN. And in college baseball, we know the Little Rock Trojans will take on the Troy Trojans in their first ever Super Regional. Game 1 is tomorrow night at 4 o'clock on ESPNU, and Game 2 will be Saturday at 2 o'clock on ESPN2. Game 1 will also be broadcast on 106.7 Buzz 2, and Game 2 Saturday will be right here on 103.7 The Buzz. I'm Moose with The Buzz Radio Network. Guys, this one's for you. Join Arkansas Urology on Friday, June 5th from 11 to 1 for the grand reopening of the new AU Men's Health Clinic at 1300 Centerview Drive in Little Rock. We're serving up free hamburgers, hot dogs, and chicken strip baskets, plus free men's health screenings. And guys, the first men through the door score a free Arkansas Urology t-shirt. So grab lunch, check your health, and come see the brand new Men's Health Clinic from Arkansas Urology. Visit ArkansasUrology.com. Arkansas Urology. Men's health starts here. The Little Rock Trojans are in the Super Regional for the first time. Join the Zone tomorrow from 10 to 1 at Brewski's Pub and Grub in Lakewood Village for a preview of the series with Troy.
Looking for burgers, barbecue, beer, bourbon, ball games, and brunch? Look no further than Washita Bar and Grill, 915 Central Avenue in beautiful downtown Hot Springs. Washita Bar and Grill, family and pet friendly, with indoor and outdoor seating available. Bingo Bango Brunch, served on Sundays from 11 till 3, with live music Thursday through Saturday. Take a look on Facebook to see what events they've got going on this week, and join the fun at Washita Bar and Grill, Central Avenue, downtown Hot Springs.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get in the conversation with live fan feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on The Zone by Rainbow Restoration. When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, damage from water, smoke, fire, or mold, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. RainbowRestores.com. They restore, you recover.
Welcome back to The Zone, live from the Oaklawn Hot Springs studio with your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson.
It's from Arkansas. I hope it's good.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
All right, welcome back to the segment brought to you in part by LeVar Law. Hurt in a car? Call LeVar. We've been telling you for a while now, and if you have an accident and it wasn't your fault, you need to make sure that you get your fair share from the insurance companies. And I don't know how to do that, but Alan LeVar does, and he's been doing it for decades. He and his team are here as fellow Arkansans to protect you in Arkansan. If you're hurt in a car, call LeVar, and you can find out more about them at levarlaw.com, Levar law.com. Or call them at 1-800-WIN-WIN-1, the number 1. Because otherwise it'll be way too many numbers. You know how that goes. Personal attention from his team when you call, not some 1-800 number that's going to send you to the middle of nowhere. These are Arkansans looking out for you, the Arkansan. Consultation's free. It's confidential. And there's no fee unless they win, and they win a lot. LeVar Law, Injury, and Accident Lawyers, Arkansas strong for 30 years, and Arkansas trusted. And, side note, Alan's just a good dude. He's been in the studio a few times. We really like him. And if I have an accident that is not my fault, I guarantee he is my first call. Absolutely. All right, let's go to the Jim's Razorback Pizza Hotline. Dr. O'Malley's standing by. If I have an orthopedic problem, my first call is Dr. O'Malley. Doc, what's happening?
Hey, guys.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
We're loving this baseball. I know some of your associates worked with Arkansas and Little Rock this year with baseball. So good work keeping these guys up and running. And for the Trojans' sake, they have certainly maximized keeping their guys healthy, and it's worked out well.
Yes, it definitely has for them.
It's been fun.
Doc, I got to ask you a question. Last week we had in the Lawrence Regional. There's a player for Kansas who had only missed 4 games with a hamate bone injury. There's their left fielder, Brady Bollinger. And Arkansas's designated hitter, Kuhio Aloy, was out for a month with a hamate bone injury. And I kind of thought maybe all these things were equal, but I guess they're not.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. People come in all the time and go, well, my buddy had whatever knee problem. And you could have the exact same problem, but they will present differently and also recover differently. So for the hamate, for example, like, you could have just bruised the bone, right, which is probably what the other player did. And once the bruise resolves, go back to play versus breaking it. And breaking it off, you're not going to be able to play. You're going to need to go have it excised to be able to play baseball.
I know Dave was talking about this a little bit and why there's a prevalence of these injuries. When you look at how some hitters hold the bat, they'll put that pinky finger below the knob to get a little bit more whip, but does putting the pinky finger below the knob maybe lead to a little bit more pressure on the hamate and these injuries?
Yeah, so the knob is right there over the hamate when they do that. So, like, right, everybody didn't hold at the end of the right. It's all about leverage and having, like, now where before people would grip up and you weren't putting your hand right over the knob of a bat, and which is why you're seeing more hamates because of how they're holding the bat. So, yes, that's correct.
Talking to Dr. O'Malley from UAMS Orthopedics. If you're just tuning in on the Jim's Razorback Pizza Hotline, wanted to ask you about a couple of baseball injuries. And Corbin Burns was an interesting one. I can't tell you that I've ever heard this one before, Doc. Arizona Diamondbacks player, teres major strain. What is that?
Yeah, so it's one of the muscles in the back of your shoulder that attaches. So interesting enough, the teres minor is part of your rotator cuff. Teres major is not part of your rotator cuff, but it essentially helps with the movement of your shoulder. And so attaches to your shoulder blade. And so with a tear in that, it can definitely take time to come back. I think they're saying a few months to get him back from that injury.
Not to make it about me, because it isn't, but I did read a couple of reports that Jackson Wiggins, the former Razorback, would likely already be with the big league team if he had not had some issues from a health standpoint. Dealing with elbow inflammation. I think he's on the 7-day IL. And just curious, other than rest, what are we doing here for elbow inflammation? And once you get it cleared up, is it something that is likely to come back, or is there a way to stave that off?
Yeah, so he's probably just ice, anti-inflammatories, and rest. At 7 days, you're probably not giving him any sort of injections or anything. If you only need him out for 7 days, you're not really that worried to go invasive. In terms of staving it off, so a lot of times pitching mechanics can lead to the elbow inflammation. And so is making sure that as you're throwing the ball, that you're having proper motion of your shoulder. So shoulder problems will lead to force on the elbow, causing elbows to get inflamed. So really looking at the whole player and making sure that we're not missing something to keep it from coming back. So there are things you can do. But a lot of it's back to mechanics.
We were talking just a minute ago with Evan Lee, and again, this is the time of year where you go for broke within reason. You're not obviously going to put your players at risk, at least not responsible coaches are not going to. But, again, there are guys who will come back and maybe throw a couple days later after throwing a 5-inning, outing a couple of days before, where they typically would get 4 or 5 days rest. from an orthopedic standpoint, what are the concerns there, or do you feel like the human arm typically is okay in those situations, or what are things to look for or maybe avoid?
Yeah, I mean, normally they used to throw on 2 days rest for years. We did that. They weren't throwing as hard as they throw now, so that it is a concern. I think for short periods of time, like they're doing in a tournament-type session, I think at that level is okay. If you have a high school or a teenager that's playing in a tournament every weekend and they're being overthrown, yeah, that could be a problem. But if we're doing it for the NCAA, I'm not too worried about it from an orthopedic standpoint. Make sure they're stretched out, and then just making sure their mechanics are good. And if you're seeing that velo start to drop off, they probably need to make sure they pull them so that they're not either hurting themselves or just going to get hammered by the batter. So.
You just mentioned the thing I was going to bring up is these are not all they're pitchers, but they're all different cases, and so much of it has to do with the way their body is made up and how they operate it, the kinetics that they use in order to be a pitcher. It's about mechanics first and foremost, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So they're all going to be different, and all their slot angles are all going to be different. And they're going to recover differently, and so it's at this point the coaches know their players and they know who can go on short rest and who may not be able to. And I think it's important for the coach to use his good judgment. But you don't see a ton of injuries from pitchers being overused right now in the NCAA tournament. So from an orthopedic standpoint, I don't get too worried about it. But, yes, you may see an injury. But you could also have a freak injury where somebody tears their ACL because, right, they're playing more games. And it just could happen too. So.
As an orthopedic surgeon, do you and I've wondered about this sometimes, is there a point of youth at an age or body development where it is okay to start learning how to throw curveballs, sliders, how to put spin on the pitch? Maybe it happens a little too early in some kids' development.
I don't think there's really great. It's really more about the numbers of pitches more than the types of pitches.
Okay.
That's what we know that, and the problem is when they're young, if you just get a kid to throw a good fastball, they can be pretty dominant with a good fastball at younger ages. But it's really the pitch count, the biggest thing, and there's been a big push in orthopedics about pitch counts in young kids, and that is a much bigger issue than the type of pitch that they're throwing. And honestly, those other pitches, the off-speed are great because there's not as much force on the elbow as trying to throw a fastball all the time. So I'd actually rather them throw at a younger age a curveball or a slider, which is just harder for most of these kids to be able to do consistently, which is why they don't. But it's the pitch count and making sure that and it's also resting when kids are not feeling good. And that's why I think we don't do a great job in our adolescents in terms of giving kids breaks. If they hurt, rest them. What do we do in the pros? They rest, right? You go strain your oblique, you're getting rested. And that's even in college too. And I feel like that's what we don't do, or the kids don't do a good job vocalizing when they're hurting, for the parents to back off and not throw that child, or the coach not to throw that child.
If the top athletes in the world at 27 need load management, I would say that a 14-year-old probably could benefit from some too.
I would argue they could benefit more than the 20-year-old.
Yes, of course.
And that's what we see. Unfortunately, you're seeing all these Tommy John injuries, and it's all because it's just it's basic physics, right? You throw a bunch of innings and you put a lot of torque on that elbow, you're going to have more injuries. And it's just a matter of we weren't throwing as hard 20 years ago, and the kids weren't throwing as often. So they're still going to be throwing hard, so we've got to slow them down and make sure that they're not throwing as often. And we're particularly important about pitch count, but also listening to the kid. When the kid hurts, they need to not be throwing.
There you go. Doc, I appreciate you. Again, the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital, UAMS, with Ortho Now. If you have an issue, you can pop in there Monday through Friday, 8 to 8, and 8 to noon on Saturday. And, of course, you can also schedule an appointment with Dr. O'Malley or one of his associates. You can call 501-686-TOSH, 501-686-8674, and they've got locations around town and, of course, at the Orthopedic Hospital. Doc, thank you. Appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, very good. We're going to talk to Mayor Scott on the other side of the break. And I will look forward to that. We got a few things. I'm sure he's very excited about what's happening with Little Rock right now. I know we are. And we will talk to him about that and so much more coming up. So,
quick thing on injuries for you here on baseball.
Please.
So, Major League teams can carry up to 13 pitchers, which basically means there are 390 active Major League pitchers right now on rosters. You look at the injury reports. The word elbow is on the full Major League injury report. There's 95 pitchers right now. It's probably mostly pitchers. dealing with elbow injuries. 95 injuries, 390 active pitchers. That just tells you it's a little bit of a it's a dangerous profession if you're worried about the health of your right arm.
There's no doubt.
Or your left.
Yeah. All right, we're back in a second, 11:44.
If you want to witness the world's biggest soccer tournament in person, look no further than Twin Peaks. Enter Twin Peaks Go for Goal giveaway presented by Michelob Ultra and Casamigos. And you could be one of the 5 grand prize winners who get the VIP treatment plus travel and lodging. For your chance to win unmatched views of the match, visit TwinPeaksSoccer.com to enter and choose your host city. Entries close on June 14th, so don't wait. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hawks Homes has custom-built, manufactured homes under $100 per square foot. They have hundreds of floor plans available to fit your family's needs. Homes start as low as $39,995. They can finance your new home together with land so you can have one easy payment. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 bedrooms available for immediate delivery. You can view their inventory online at hawkshomes.net. Let their family help your family. Hawks Homes, Bryant and Conway.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-600-2763. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-600-2763. That's 501-600-2763.
It's a declaration of savings at Bradford Marine and ATV locations during the Great American Boat Sale. To honor America, Bradford Marine and ATV has savings up to $7,076 on select models like Tracker, Sun Tracker, Nitro, Tahoe, and Ranger boats. Plus, to salute our nation's 250 years, get a free $250 Bass Pro gift card. Hurry in to Bradford Marine and ATV to celebrate independence at the Great American Boat Sale going on now. Visit BradfordMarine.com, your authorized Tracker dealer.
Hey, it's Randy Rainwater from Drive Time Sports. Coming up Thursday, wide open show just for you. We'll talk to Neil Atkinson from Bed Saracen. Trey Biddy thanks to Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. Kevin Hoop Scoop McPherson from Hogville.net. That gives us plenty of time to answer your calls throughout the show. Join us from 4 to 7 on 1037 The Buzz.
You're listening to The Zone, Arkansas's longest-running midday sports talk show with Justin Acri, Bill Elson, and Moose.
Google us! We are magnificent!
On 1037 The Buzz.
We are imminently awaiting a call from our mayor, Frank Scott Jr., to talk about a number of things. He is excited about Little Rock. He's excited about what we just saw with the UMS Health Little Rock Open, tennis-wise. And did you know that our Razorbacks made it to the finals, I was told yesterday?
Wow.
Yeah. Ran into John Macris yesterday, who's on the board, I guess, of the tournament. Big tennis guy. And he hits a golf ball pretty good, too. Anyway.
How cool.
But I was told that they made the finals. And our boy, Jakob Verba, All-American, coming back this next year for them. That's pretty awesome.
You're going to have to go watch a tennis match at the Billingsley Center. I walk by. It's right by the hotel. I stay all the time there.
Yeah.
Walk by it all the time. It's a nice facility.
Yeah. The hotel or the tennis?
The tennis center. Never really been inside of it. You can just see from the outside. It's nice.
This segment brought to you in part by our friends at Cash, and I can't wait to get the mayor on. You know, I owe the mayor a dinner. He's a pescatarian. And I'm like, we're going to go to Cash. We made a bet. And he was going to buy me a steak if I won. I was going to buy him a lobster if he won. And he won. It was Memphis against Iowa State in a bowl game, and Memphis was at home in their bowl game. It was the Liberty Bowl. Mm-hmm. And they beat Iowa State like they stole something. And like they should have beat that kid in the NBA game.
Like they ran onto the floor?
Yeah, like they should have beat that kid in the NBA game last night. Anyway, so for like 3 years, I've owed this guy a perfectly good lobster over at Cash, and yet we've not been able to connect to make it happen. So I don't know who he's having dinner with. It just ain't me.
So a pescatarian is somebody that won't eat meat, but will eat all the fish and all the shellfish.
Yes.
All of it.
I think it's a very shellfish move.
You've been holding on to that one. You've probably used that many times.
Well, we're going to go to Cash either way because they have great fish and they have great steaks. And they have great sides. And I'm going to sit there and enjoy my pork belly and my bacon, my rack of bacon that they bring out as an appetizer. And I'm going to smile as we visit. And I don't know if he drinks, but I'm going to have an old-fashioned and then probably a glass of wine with dinner. But he can do whatever he wants. But I just want to pay up on the bet because a Lannister always pays their bets, and so do I.
It's true. Is there a statute of limitations for how long you can hold on to that meal?
Thank you. At what point do I not owe him anymore?
I think this is a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it feels like the Kenny Banya thing where they he gave him an Armani suit.
That's
and then
the one.
He took him to dinner and he ordered soup. He's like, that's not really
It's
fair,
not a
Jerry.
meal.
He's like, nobody told you to get soup. That's on you. Anyway, there's the mayor.
But if you order lobster, that's a meal.
Yes.
Definitely a meal.
What if he orders lobster bisque? It's a hearty soup.
Wow, that's a great question because it's not a lot. You won't get chunks of lobster in the bisque. It's smooth.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to
What
answer
about
that.
okay, so lobster chowder?
Yes.
Chunks of chowder, chunks of lobster.
Am I to be made to believe that the difference between a meal and a snack is the chunkiness of the broth?
Yeah. By that rationale, the peanut butter I eat is not a meal, but the peanut butter you eat might be.
Look, you have to have ways to define things in life. This is
agree.
how you define whether or not you actually bought somebody dinner or bought them a snack.
Words and wagers matter. Words and wagers matter. Anyway, if you want to settle up your wagers over at Cash, 501-850-0265 for special events, for reservations, I have no reservations about going there. And you can go to the website, too, and make them that way, cashlittlerock.com, C-A-C-H-E, littlerock.com. So if you want to go there and make a wager or you want to go there and settle a wager, it's a great place. And, again, all the fare you could possibly want. You want pasta? Great. You want fish? Great. You want steak? Great. You want awesome apps? Absolutely. Cocktails out of this world. Special event space across the board. Anyway, there he is. Mayor Scott, were your ears burning? We were talking about you in the break. How are you?
Hey, Mayor Scott.
Yeah, we still need to settle up on our wager that I won.
Look, I don't have access to your calendar, and I don't have access to your calendar person. All I have access to is mine, and it is wide open for you. I would like to settle this bet this summer if you have a spare hour and 27 minutes or however long it's going to take to get through a meal over there.
Yes, we will get. I will make certain between you, me, and Aaron Sadler, we'll get this done this summer. So I know I've been the issue. It has not been you.
Well, I'm not buying Aaron dinner. Now I pay for your wife, but I'm not buying Aaron dinner.
This is how it happens. Little Rock Trojans go to Omaha. Mayor Scott goes to Omaha to watch them play. You get the meal in Omaha with Justin Acri.
That'd be nice. The problem is I don't know how the fish is in Omaha. I know it's great at Cash. We do know a great steak place, or three.
But they have a great steak place, which means they have to have good lobster and shrimp.
You would think so. Absolutely. Okay, we'll figure it out. But let's hope we're all dealing with that. And Mayor, everybody's excited about what's going on with the Trojans. We just talked to their pitching coach a minute ago. We're going to talk to one of their star players coming up in the next hour. I mean, it is everybody's on fire for Little Rock right now.
No, me too. I'm so excited as a UA Little Rock alum and member of the Board of Visitors. In particular, the mayor of the city, we're just so proud of the Little Rock Trojan baseball team and Coach Curry and all that he's done. A very remarkable job in this postseason. Now ranked number 19, and what they've been doing the past 2 years. We're in it to win it. We're really excited about them and definitely want them to beat Troy and then also go to Omaha. I mean, it's a big deal. We're excited about it, and we just love our Trojans.
Have you been to the World Series before?
I have not. I have not. But if they go, I'm gonna try to make a trip to Omaha.
Yeah, you absolutely need to.
So,
Phil and I have had the pleasure several times. Phil
There's
more than I have.
nothing like it.
Yeah, it's a very special event. The intimacy of the layout between the ballpark, the restaurants, the bars, and the gathering places for the special events. It's just a phenomenal experience. It really is. It's one of the best experiences as a sports fan I've ever had, and I've luckily had it several times over. So let's hope we get there. But first things first, they're 18 innings away, or maybe a few more. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some extra innings over there.
But I want to know, Mayor Scott, what does this mean to the city for the city's name to just be so front and center, on ESPN all weekend long? I mean, the people are going to be rooting for Little Rock Trojans that have never even known that there was a school named UA Little Rock.
No, I totally agree. I think one from a a Little Rock resident perspective, it increases our pride. Two, from an economic perspective, is more awareness for our city, and more people will get the opportunity to learn more about Little Rock and come visit us and come cheer on our Trojans here locally and abroad. So it's a big deal to have that type of placement on ESPN for tourism, for economics, but most of all, the pride of a Little Rock resident cheering on its Trojans.
All right, we also just got done with a really
big deal.
Sorry, Mayor. Okay, we also just got done, speaking of big deals sporting-wise, in Little Rock. We just got done with the UAMS Health Little Rock Open, and Phil and I had a chance to go over there and do the show one day, and we had a chance to visit with some of the competitors, including 2 Razorback tennis players who, fortunately, get to continue on their careers, at least one of them does since he hasn't graduated, at the University of Arkansas. So that was pretty neat. But that is a big-time event, and, again, I don't know that a lot of people have the perspective or understanding of how big a deal it is to have an event like this in our metro.
No, it's a big deal. Number one, we've hosted this event for 45 years, and people would not realize that we are the second oldest U.S. Open tournament, USTA tournament in the nation, and second only to number one is Wimbledon. And so we have these international, national, professional players that are coming to Rebsamen Tennis Park. We're excited that we get a chance to host. I was out there at least 2 or 3 times watching the tournament, and we've done some new lighting, spent about $600,000 on the lights. And then we recently redid all of the courts, spent about $500,000 there. The goal one day is to have indoor courts as well. And so it's exciting times. And so very grateful for UAMS, Worsham Law Firm, the Heflins, Winthrop Rockefeller Cancer Institute, so many people to play a vital role that we have this top-tier tournament in our city. And so just so grateful for all the sponsors for the UAMS Little Rock Open.
One non-sports related item, and it's a very controversial issue. We're talking about data centers and what to do. They're important, but how do you go about dealing with that right now? And I know it's a hot-button issue in the metro right now, so what's the situation from the city's perspective?
So the situation from the city perspective, whether you support or you're against data centers, the state legislature levied a law called Act 851 of 2023 that preempts local, city, and county governments from banning data centers. And so you really have no say-so from that standpoint. Because of that, we know that data centers are popping up across the country. And so Little Rock took the initiative, since we can't ban them, is to levy regulations to ensure that we protect residents as it relates to water usage, noise, environmental concerns, land use, zoning laws. And so we're the first city in the state of Arkansas to regulate data centers since they can't be banned. And we do know it is economic development. They put investment into our city. They do create some jobs, but we know our residents are very leery of them. Many of them do not want them. And so since we can't not do away with them because of the legislature and Act 851, we decided to regulate what they can do. And so now if there was a hyperscale data center to come, they have to be located in an industrial area like the Little Rock Port and not a residential neighborhood. And so we put a lot of safeguard and guardrails in place this past Tuesday, and listened to close to a 5-hour debate this past Tuesday evening, and we're able to get that passed to protect the residents of Little Rock.
All right, Mayor Scott, appreciate the time, and we will catch up in a couple of weeks, and in a couple of weeks maybe we'll be kicking it in Omaha together. Who knows?
All right, looking forward to it. I really want them to go so we can catch up there too. And we can set up the wager. If we can't make it to cash, we'll set up the wager in Omaha.
I love it. Sounds good, Mayor Scott. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that is Frank Scott Jr., our Capital City Mayor. Next hour, busy one, Phil. Special guest, ×2.
Barry McKnight, Troy Trojans radio play-by-play, and Nico Baumbach. I'm using 2 terms there that they're not. Little Rock Trojans slugger.
Hey, listen, you made a great point, and I'm not sure if it was intentional, but I think it was, that for the city itself, for them to go by Little Rock as opposed to UALR is phenomenal, because for a lot of people, if you're in California or Timbuktu, you don't know what the hell a UALR is.
And it looks a lot better, too, than ARC-LR, which ESPN loved to use.
Yes. Concur. All right. 1 hour.
left.
Floyd Seafood, Keel Avenue, Sherwood, has live Louisiana crawfish. It's the last week for live crawfish. Order by 2 o'clock Thursday for your weekend. Floyd Seafood in Sherwood, your homesick Cajun headquarters for live crawfish. Order by 2 o'clock Thursday.
106.7 Buzz 2 is your home for Arkansas Trabs baseball. Hear every pitch, every crack of the bat on 106.7 Buzz 2. For the full calendar, go to Trabs.com. It's the greatest game on dirt, and you can hear it all on 106.7 Buzz 2.
Let's be honest, guys love free food and free stuff. That's why Arkansas Urology is inviting you to the grand reopening of the new AU Men's Health Clinic on Friday, June 5th, from 11 to 1 at 1300 Centerview Drive in Little Rock. Come enjoy free hamburgers, hot dogs, or chicken strip baskets, free men's health screenings, and free Arkansas Urology t-shirts for the first men there. No pressure, no long speeches, just food, fun, and taking care of your health. Call 501-219-8900 Arkansas Urology. Stop by and check us out.
Fence Brokers presents Razorback Graffiti every Monday with Morning Mayhem. One sentence to let the guys know how you feel about the Razorbacks from Fence Brokers. Going the extra mile.
No matter what you do.
Oh, you were finished.
We can't be stopped.
Oh, well, allow me to retort.
103.7 The Buzz.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
New state data shows that meth has overtaken fentanyl as the leading drug in overdoses in Arkansas. The Arkansas State Crime Lab says meth was involved with 47% of drug-related deaths in 2023 and jumped to 54% so far this year. During the same time, fentanyl dropped from 43% to 16%. Officials still warning about the dangers of both drugs. They say Narcan can often reverse fentanyl overdoses, but there is no similar option for meth overdoses. In other news, Meals on Wheels is closing in Benton County after more than 40 years. Leaders say rising grocery costs, fewer donations, and a shortage of volunteers made it difficult to keep going. The president says he hopes a new generation of leaders and volunteers will find a way to bring the program back. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
It's going to be a mostly cloudy day and a little more humid today. Plus, a 30% chance of rain showers. Some this morning, around the middle of the day, and into the afternoon are all possible. 84 degrees or high temperature in Little Rock tonight. Mostly cloudy. We'll drop to 68. Tomorrow, it'll be warmer, partly cloudy, a high of 87, and a 10% chance of a shower. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Hi, this is Quinn Grover. When you need expert health care, UAMS Health is here for you. From cancer and heart care to neurology, obstetrics, orthopedics, and more, UAMS Health provides advanced care across a wide range of specialties, backed by research, innovation, education, and a commitment to improving lives. That's care you can trust. From UAMS Health, the official orthopedics and sports medicine provider for Razorback Athletics. For appointments, call 501-686-8000.
FanDuel is giving you better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. With more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From spreads to player points to three-pointers and more. So whether you think Wembanyama is going to go for 40, 10, and 20 assists, or you think he's going to get shut down by the opponent, you can make your wagers at FanDuel. If you're rooting for the top seeds to go all the way, or you're hoping that an underdog upsets them in the playoffs, FanDuel's got you covered. Build it all into one same-game parlay and go for bigger payouts. If you're betting same-game parlays this NBA postseason, you should be betting them on FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. All you have to do is head to FanDuel.com/Arkansas to get started. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. You must be 21 and up and present in Arkansas. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. When you think CertaPro Painters, you probably think interior and exterior painting for homes and commercial properties, which we do beautifully. But did you know that we're more than just paint? CertaPro also provides expert carpentry, sheetrock repairs, deck and fence staining, and durable garage and patio concrete coatings. Whether you're refreshing your home, upgrading a commercial space, or restoring outdoor areas, we deliver professional results with the quality and service you expect. Call CertaPro Painters today or schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, that's certainty.
You can't always see what's in the air, but dust, allergens, contaminants, even mold could be affecting your health. Learn about air quality testing at rainbowrestores.com. When the unthinkable happens, damage from smoke, water, fire, mold, or just poor air quality, let Rainbow Restoration fix your home or business. With their 24/7 rapid response, you'll get your life back on track fast. RainbowRestores.com. Rainbow Restoration. They restore, you recover. Services performed by an independently owned and operated franchise.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts, 0% financing available, and we'll give you $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade-in. Folks, I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's really not hard. FletcherCredit.com. Folks, we're also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
Hit a home run with your next project at Natural State Wholesale, The Warehouse, 2011 North 2nd Street in Cabot. Knock it out of the park with unbeatable savings on building materials. From flooring to faucets, shingles to bathtubs, butcher block countertops to ceiling fans. They've got everything you need to build your dream. Don't strike out paying high prices. Call 501-605-8739 and score big savings today. Natural State Wholesale, The Warehouse, where every deal is a home run.
Fraud is on the rise, and scammers are getting more convincing every day. But remember this, your bank will never call you asking for your debit card number, expiration date, PIN, security code, or online banking login information. If you receive a message or call that feels off, trust your instincts. Hang up. Don't click. Don't respond. Instead, contact your bank directly using a number you know and trust. Protect your information. Protect your money. When in doubt, call your bank.
You're in the zone. Arkansas's longest-running midday sports talk show. Coming to you live from the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio. Oaklawn, Arkansas's only casino resort.
20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
With your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson on the Buzz Radio Network.
Feels so unlike everybody else, alone in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know, but no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go.
Hennessy anyway, he never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him because he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, got a picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote, his will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds, the skill of an artist.
This is 20% skill, 80% gear, be 100% clear, cause Ryder was ill. Who would have thought he'd be the one?
All right, welcome back for our third hour on this fantastic Thursday. Tomorrow we are on the road and looking forward to it, and we just got some news from our friends over at Little Rock, and they are hosting another watch party tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock at Walk-Ons in West Little Rock. So if you want to join the official party from Little Rock, that's where they'll be tomorrow. And Drive Time Sports will be broadcasting live from Walk-Ons tomorrow during the party. So the show starts at 4, the game starts at 4. It's about to be nutty in Walk-Ons tomorrow.
How much fun is that going to be?
So fun and so great, and I'm so excited about it. So
and
that's
we're
fantastic.
at Brewski's for tomorrow, right?
We are in the day because that's one of the other options to go watch it if it's more convenient for you. We'll be in the North Little Rock location, but absolutely excited about that. So there's obviously a lot of buzz about that. We are also going to be selling a very unique one-off shirt that is a play on a quote from Chris Curry during this run to the Super Regionals. So that will be a very special commemorative thing you want to have an opportunity to buy while they last. There's only a very limited number of these. They will be available at the watch party on Friday. And so if you want to jump on one of those and go celebrate the Trojans with your fellow Little Rock fans, that's what you do.
I need one of these because I don't have enough baseball T-shirts.
I don't have enough Little Rock gear. All my Little Rock gear is more winter month stuff. I have long sleeve, heavy duty, a lot of wrestling gear from Coach Arisman over the years. So, yeah, I definitely need to get one of these myself. I will definitely be slapping down my $25 for a T-shirt.
I still wear my pair of black UALR Trojans sweatpants that I got from being the voice of the women's basketball team from 20 years ago.
Do you have a T-shirt that says, I was the voice of Little Rock women's basketball, and all I got was this stupid pair of sweatpants?
No, because they gave me some rings from championships they won, too.
That's
so
awesome.
I did get some of those.
You were there in the
early Joe Foley years. I was calling those games from 2005 through 2014.
Okay. It was good times.
Those were really good times.
What's Joe doing now?
Living life.
Yeah.
Golf.
Playing golf?
Oh, absolutely.
We need to go play golf with him. I do, at least. You can come along and just hang
I'll
out.
just sit there and watch you guys and
be fun.
Heckle.
That'd be a good time.
Joe's the best.
You'd be really fun as you, me, him, and Shields, and we could probably get another guy or two. No, it'd be fun. It'd be a fun outing.
You get Shields on this. That's a real golfer right there.
Yeah, he's a stud. All right, let's go to, I don't know how his golf game is, but his voice is really good. He's been the voice of the Troy Trojans for some time now, and he is joining us on the Jim's Razorback Pizza Hotline. His name is Barry McKnight, and sounds like an R&B singer from the 70s. I like that. But Barry, looking forward to it this weekend. Unprecedented success for these programs, and we've got a good old Trojan War starting tomorrow at 4 o'clock. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I wish I had the words to express just how dynamic it is down here right now. My office on campus is right in the middle of it all, and there's a ton of stuff going on leading into it. So the experience should be interesting, even above and beyond just really, really good baseball.
Aren't they? They're changing. Well, you have to it's a small facility that the team plays in. So I was reading about how they're creating a standing room only area kind of between football and baseball. It sounds like it's going to be completely unique and maybe even a little crazy, Barry.
Well, it's more than a little crazy, I can promise you that. It's like an anthill right now. Everybody running around, ESPN's in and all that. What you're talking about, one of the unique parts about the facility, bear in mind the facility itself is renovated 2 years ago. It seats about 2,500, all chair back. It is beautiful, but they're expecting something like 7,000 for this one, which means one of the unique factors of it is a place called Double's Alley over the chain link left field wall, which has been around, for years now and has been, full of energy and spice for the opposing outfielders and stuff like that. Well, multiply that by about 100. There's going to be thousands of people out in that left field terrace. They are this afternoon trucking in a couple of 300-person bleachers out there. There's going to be portable bleachers put out past the first base dugout, for the students and stuff. It's going to be it's the biggest thing to happen in Troy ever. And we've had Mississippi State come in. We've beaten Missouri in football just right next door. We've had SEC teams come in for basketball, but nothing like this.
Barry, now we start to put it in perspective of the athletic program, I would think. And where does this rank in the pantheon of all sports? I mean, obviously, a basketball team going to the NCAA tournament's a huge deal too. And Troy's got football, Little Rock doesn't, so there may be something there that we're missing because I don't really know the history of Troy football. For Little Rock, this is almost as big as just about anything. I mean, the women have been in the NCAA tournament a few times, even as an at-large.
Won a game?
Yeah, the men's basketball program has been there as well. They've had track and field success, but, this is certainly on par with just about anything that's happened.
Well, I can't think of anything bigger, and Troy football has beaten LSU on the road. They've beaten, Nebraska on the road. They've beaten Missouri, Mississippi State at home. Basketball again. The men's basketball team has been to the NCAA 2 years in a row. Women's basketball played in the Sun Belt Championship. There were some great games you were mentioning Joe Foley, and goodness, remember, those Little Rock teams with him. This is the biggest thing, particularly for three basic reasons. Number one, it is this is the Sweet 16 of college baseball. Never been here before, either one of us. And one of these two programs is going to the College World Series. That's number one. Number two, the fact that it is here, which is, we believe, an advantage for Troy. And you want to try to parlay that advantage and augment it as much as you can, hence the extra seating, hence all of the different TVs they're bringing in and all of this other stuff as well. And the number three aspect of it is what it means for the entire university in terms of exposure. You're going to have ESPN's family in here for 2 days at least, spotlighting, the Troy facilities and the fans at Troy and the university at Troy. So those three factors, if you combine them all, this is the biggest thing we've ever had here on the Troy University campus, much less athletically. The city of Troy hasn't seen anything like this before.
Talking to Barry McKnight on the Jim's Razorback Pizza Hotline. Again, Little Rock heading to Troy, or is in Troy, I guess now, taking on the Trojans. 4 o'clock tomorrow. You can hear it on Buzz 2, starting at 3:45. And I'm curious, again, Troy's a little smaller town than Little Rock is, so it's a little bit different deal, I think, maybe in the importance of the university in the big scheme of the town. But you've also got Alabama and Auburn playing in the postseason as well. It's obviously been a great year for baseball in that state. I'm just curious, yes. I guess, is this everything for the city of Troy? Is the entire town going to be engaged in this, or is this just a small piece of the puzzle? Because I don't know if Little Rock was hosting a Super, what it would look like. I'm sure they'd be overflowing at Gary Hogan Field, but I'm just curious, is this everything to this town?
It is, and then some. It's a unique environment, and it's one of the things that the university and the athletic department sells. We're in rural southeastern Alabama. We're about an hour from Montgomery, which is the next biggest town. And we sell the fact that, look, when you come to Troy, there's no huge nightlife, there's no bright lights, any of that. You come here, you go to school here, you have a good time here, you're 2 hours from the beach, but this is a small town, and that's what we sell. The corollary to that is, to your question, is that when you're in Troy, and it's a town of 18,000, it is the second smallest town in America that has a Division I football playing institution there. The other one the only one smaller is West Point, New York. So they sell that. You come to Troy, people are invested in Troy, people are invested in athletics. You're known everywhere around town if you're a Troy student athlete. The fans really support it. We've got some of the prettiest facilities in the Sun Belt Conference and in the state of Alabama. So those are all selling points for the university, and it's a remarkable hand-in-hand relationship with the city of Troy, which is helping to sponsor the extra bleachers, which helps to sponsor the radio broadcasts, which helps to sponsor a lot of the different ticket initiatives. It's a really good situation, given that you really have to embrace, rather than explain away, the fact that it is a very small town.
Coach Meade has talked a lot about, we're not a Cinderella. We put a schedule together that we knew was difficult because we knew what it was we had coming back. Did you feel, now, planning to go to the Super Regionals at the start of the season for any team sometimes can be an auspicious thing to think about. But what was it about this team this year that felt like it could stand apart for Troy baseball in recent years?
Well, I've been doing this for 24 years at Troy, and this is the most talented team, all in all, that Troy has had. The backstory is that, last year Troy was one of the last four out. The year before that, they were the first one out, and the NCAA said it had to do largely with strength of schedule. So Skylar Meade, he did construct the schedule with intent this year, and at the end of the year, it was the number one ranked non-conference strength, scheduled strength in the country. Now, that does impact your one-loss record, and Troy went into the postseason just, I think at that point, 4 games over 500, but with a terrific RPI because of the strength of schedule. That's what got Troy in with a tweener kind of an overall record was the strength of schedule. The corollary to all that is that it has really tested this team and tempered them by fire. You know, Troy has played at Georgia and won. Troy has played Alabama and won. Maryland and won. Rutgers and won. You know, they played Mississippi State. They played Vanderbilt. I mean, you go up and down some of the really good programs that Troy, with intent, went out and said, we've got to play you guys in order to buff up our strength of schedule. It has worked with the strength of schedule. It has worked with the resume, but even more so, it has worked with the culture and the mental and the intestinal fortitude of this team. Look, last week, losing late to Miami in the opener of the Gainesville Regional, backs are against the wall from there on. You beat Ryder, then you're faced with playing on a Sunday against Miami and Florida on the same day in Gainesville, two teams that have combined for 5 national championships. And you do both of them, and neither one of those games were close. And then you come back and you beat Florida on Monday. That one wasn't close. I have to believe that part of the reason why Troy was so cool and so focused was because they have faced those types of teams and those types of situations many times before already this year.
Absolutely. I mean, you can kind of see just even in the way that you came back in that second Miami game, just rallying from behind. It's a team that's tough to keep from scoring runs. I think you're averaging 12.5 runs in the last 4 games, all wins. Is that a feeling that this is the kind of thing you can continue, or what are the other strengths for Troy?
Well, the real difference, if there's one difference you can point to, is the development of the back of the lineup. Jay Boroff, the DH, he only had 12 hits all year, didn't play much. He was a JUCO All-American, came to Troy, struggled, had a great fall but struggled. He was the regional MVP in Gainesville. 12 hits all year. He had 10 hits in Gainesville. That has really helped. Behind him, Houston Markham, a young outfielder, had struggled. But he I think, was 10 for 20 in Gainesville. So the bottom of that order, to supplement a really experienced, older, productive group of 1 through 5 in the lineup, has been a real boon for this Troy team. That has been a big part of it. But if you want to look at the adverse or the converse of that, Troy is older, Troy is experienced, Troy has weathered some storms and some bare spots during the season. Guys, you can say the same thing about Little Rock. It's an older team. They are coming in. Nobody is under any illusions that Little Rock is going to be intimidated by the atmosphere or overwhelmed by the scope of the opportunity in front of them. They've got old guys. They've got good, very experienced starting pitching. Middle of the lineup is experienced. Coach Curry, you want to get Skylar Meade talking for a half hour, you ask him about his thoughts on Coach Curry. He is a big fan of the way that they conduct the program, and it's kind of the way that Skylar does it as well at Troy. So all of the flowers for Troy for getting to this point, all of the plaudits for what they have earned, but there is no illusion that the challenge this weekend comes against a team that's very similar in temperament, very similar in talent, and very similar in recent experience, weathering some difficult times to get to where they are right now.
Troy play-by-play voice Barry McKnight joining us on the Jim's Razorback Pizza Hotline. Last thing here, just not sure if you've been told or you have a feeling who will be the first starter out for you guys on Friday's game, and if so, what kind of stuff he leans on.
Well, I haven't been told. My guess is that it'll be senior left-hander Benjamin Stubbs. He's a left-hander. He spent his entire career in Division II at Flagler down in Florida. He came to Troy this year. You'll see him on TV, on the watch party, and you'll see he's 5'11". He's a little bit slight, maybe 180, 185 pounds, but he throws 94. He is sneaky fast, competitive, and in this day and age where virtually nobody in the college game goes 7 innings, if he can get 6, that really sets up Troy well for another one of the strengths that I didn't mention, besides the development of the bottom of the order, is the relief pitching. Troy's bullpen, I think, is a little bit deeper than than it has been all year long. So look for Stubbs to start. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's what I would do. A really hard-throwing left-hander with some presence out there on the mound.
Barry, thanks for the time. It's exciting times for both programs and the broadcast teams and everybody connected, and I hope you have a great call and enjoy your weekend. Just not too much, but thanks for coming on with us. I really appreciate you.
Barry, it's great talking with you. Thank
you. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. Take care.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Barry McKnight. Good stuff.
He's been doing their games since 2002. I mean, he is Troy Athletics.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy. Always enjoyed visiting with him when you go there for UALR games when they were called UALR. And isn't that amazing that the guy who put it all together for that Troy lineup in their regional had maybe played in 20 games all season before the start of their conference tournament?
It's pretty wild.
That's baseball, Susan.
Yeah, get hot at the right time. Thanks for setting that up, Phil. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Today's entertainment report is brought to you by Bell & Sword Gentlemen's Clothing in Conway. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram or stop by Bell & Sword's new and larger location at 1011 Oak Street.
Well, you may not know this, but today is National Cheese Day.
Every day.
For you it is. I love cheese too, though. 52% of Americans self-identify as cheese obsessed. And there is a certain state that starts with W that is number one.
Washington.
It is Wyoming, actually, and I'm not joking. Wisconsin's not even in the top 10.
What?
Yes.
Come
True story.
on.
I'm serious.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
What about the Packers?
Well, Green Bay's a very small town, Phil. So it's a survey here. National 16%. Let's see. The survey has a list of the most cheese enthusiastic states. Wyoming 1, Illinois 2, followed by Alaska, Louisiana, Oregon, Mississippi, Nebraska, Connecticut, Idaho, Maine, and New Mexico.
That's only because there's probably a very large family of Wisconsinites that moved to Wyoming, and there's just not enough people in Wyoming, so that was too large of a section of the population.
Would you like to guess the top two cheeses for Americans?
Cheddar.
Number one.
Swiss.
No.
Provolone.
No.
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella's second. Followed by American cream cheese. Don't sleep on cream cheese.
That's not cheese.
It is. American cheese is as much cheese as cream cheese is.
That's a good point.
Provolone, Monterey Jack, Colby, Pepper Jack, and Swiss. I'm sorry. Can a brother get some Gouda over here?
I love Gouda.
Gouda's top three for me.
Gouda's three. Where's Munster?
I don't know.
It should be good. I mean, it's really salty. So it works well with nuts and fruits. Yeah.
I mean, we're going to get into Gruyere, too, while we're at it?
I will eat it.
I just don't think Munster and Gruyere are in the general circle. You're not find it at Kroger in the
Well, that would be the kind
section.
of cheese that somebody would say is in the wine and cheese crowd. Like, everybody loves cheese, but the wine and cheese crowd is the 1% that people don't want to be associated with.
Maybe. Got a favorite over there, Moose? What does a moose like to eat when it comes to cheese?
Honestly, I'm more weirded out when stuff doesn't have cheese on it. Like when people order a plain hamburger, I don't get that. If cheese is an option to put on anything, it's getting put on there for me.
Yeah.
It's kind of whatever's available. I'm cool with.
I'm never going to order ham burger.
Right, me neither.
I may order ham sandwich.
No, but that's going to have cheese too.
It does, but it's not called a cheese sandwich. It's called a ham sandwich with cheese. But I'm ordering a cheeseburger.
Yes.
There will be no hamburgers in my world.
There are people who will not eat cheese, that it will just, you don't want to be around them when they do.
Well, if you're lactose intolerant, that's different.
That's the only excuse.
Those are the only, well, that and keeping kosher. You can't mix meat and milk, so yeah. But if you keep kosher, you're probably not eating a hamburger at a lot of these restaurants anyway.
What an existence.
I didn't know that.
What you don't know, I don't know.
Could fill this tiny room.
I could fill a thimble with. All right, this stupid lawsuit that will never end, apparently, between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni continues. Now they're back in court trying to get a judge to make Baldoni pay her legal bills. Jeez. I'm like, you can afford it. You've taken enough mud on your face and thrown enough mud at him. Just pay your fees and move on. You losers.
Yeah, but when hatred is involved, every penny counts.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's all I got. Idris Elba got knighted by King Charles.
When's it going to be Bond?
He's not.
He'd be awesome. He'd be so good.
I mean, you get to suspend what Bond's been for all those years, but then again, he was blue and blonde for all those. Then it was different. It's okay if he is.
He's also a DJ. I don't know if y'all knew that.
There's nothing that James Bond can't do. Anyway, the 53-year-old actor got the honor of knighthood from King Charles on Tuesday at Windsor Castle in Windsor, England. He received the honor thanks to his services to young people, so apparently he's a really good guy off camera as well. Good for him.
He'll always be Stringer Bell.
Stringer Bell. Who's Stringer Bell?
It's from The Wire.
I never have seen The Wire. I got to watch The Wire.
It's great stuff.
The guy that passed away that was also in...
As Michael K. Williams.
Michael K. Williams.
Yeah.
Was also in Boardwalk Empire. He is, what a dude.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
He's probably my favorite character in The Wire.
That is the number one show that I did not watch that I want to go watch from the beginning.
And you can rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it.
It's on Max, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I have not watched it.
Or whatever they call HBO now.
It's called Max, I think.
HBO Max.
It's just one of the 94 subscriptions I have. I don't know.
Look at that. That's the thing you can watch over and over. I feel you can watch Curb Your Enthusiasm over and over.
Agreed.
Sopranos, and
Entourage.
Entourage, yeah.
I have not rewatched Entourage.
I would if it was on.
They need to put Dream on the HBO app. That's the one that really made TV-style shows popular on HBO.
What's
from
Dream
early
on?
90s.
I don't know that one.
It was starring this guy named Brian Benben, and he grows up in front of the TV in the 50s and everything. And everything he experiences in his life, he correlates to some 50s television show. And it was a really well-written comedy with a little bit of some sexuality thrown into it. And I loved watching it with my dad when I was in 14, 15, 16. And it would lead into
a conversation
Larry
you didn't want to
Sanders. No, we had those conversations earlier. It would lead into the Larry Sanders show.
Larry Sanders is wildly underrated.
So do you remember every HBO show that comes on? It starts with that. That's Dream On. The opening of Dream On was the fuzz from TV. That's why they use it. It was that good of a show, and it put HBO TV on the map.
I'll check that one out too then.
You can't find it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's not on HBO
It's
at all
not
anymore.
there. They need to bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
Whack.
You guys are whack.
Wendy Malick played his wife. Yeah. Brian Benben never did anything after that either.
Okay, we have to do birthdays. 501-661-1037. We're up against it. Nico Bombach coming up after the break.
Here's a lactose intolerant person on the Jim's Razorback Pizza text line, Justin, who
Birthday
eats
trivia
cheese.
in the zone.
Phil?
He actually eats cheese.
Okay.
A lactose intolerant, so he'll order the cheeseburger.
Brave soul.
Birthday trivia in the zone is brought to you by Brewski's Pub and Grub. Your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night. With locations in Little Rock and North Little Rock. Come get your grub on.
Still have tickets to 38 Special and Kansas. If you call now, Craig, you're with Phil, and Moose, you've got John. All right, first country to formally recognize the independence of the United States.
France.
France. Phil, very good. What flavor was Twinkies' original filling? Moose?
Twinkies?
Yes. What was the original filling flavor?
Vanilla.
Chocolat.
No. Back to you.
Caramel.
No.
Honey.
No.
Cream cheese.
No.
I don't know what Twinkies
Cheddar.
is.
It's a fruit.
It's a fruit. Okay.
Cherry.
It's not your turn.
Ooh, strawberry.
No. Cherry. No.
Blue raspberry.
No.
Orange.
It's banana,
Great.
you nerds.
Goodness
Okay,
gracious.
let's move
Banana's
on.
the worst flavor of anything ever.
Banana?
Nothing should be banana flavored. It is disgusting.
Could not disagree more. I love banana. All right. On this day in history, a patent for the ATM was granted to three men who, it would have been cool if there was one guy who had a T. His first name was T, but there was no A or M. But anyway.
79.
Someone stands for anyway. How old? You're so young, Moose. You probably don't remember when there weren't ATMs.
Yeah, this has been a part of my life forever.
Because the question is the year the first ATM was
The
was
patent. The patent was
the
given.
patent.
They weren't.
Okay.
They didn't come out till later, obviously.
1960.
What'd you say?
I said 79.
73. Phil Point. On this day in history, this song from this album, same name, released by a very famous, very sweaty singer.
James Brown. Oh, Bruce Springsteen.
This is Born in the USA.
Who? Very good, Phil. Who? I would hope you knew that. Who got that?
Did you?
I said Born in the USA, but I think we said Springsteen at the same time.
We're going to call it no point. All right, how old is, it doesn't matter. What year did it come out?
This is 84.
Oh, God. Bingo bango. Sorry, buddy. All right, this guy is an actor. He has been in a number of fine films, and his daughter is a very good actress as well. He was in...
Bryan Cranston.
No. He was in...
Ethan Hawke.
No. He was in... what is the HBO show about polygamy?
Big Love?
Big Love. He was...
Bill Paxton?
No. Older. His daughter was in Jurassic Park, the original.
Laura Dern.
Yes.
Bruce Dern.
Bruce Dern's
Dang
exactly
it.
right, Phil. Thank you. How old?
Thank you for helping me
Went
out
the wrong
there.
way.
How old's Bruce Dern?
89.
Okay. No.
87.
He's 90. This woman is an actress. Her father was also an actress. Her father was also an actor, rather. He was in The Champ, which is one of my all-time favorite films. And he may or may not have had a car that George Costanza bought on Seinfeld. She was in Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Angelina Jolie.
That's correct, Moose. How
He's
old?
John Voight, I guess, right?
That's correct. Jon Voight.
Yep.
I'm sure he misspelled his own name. How old is Angelina Jolie?
She is 52.
What do you say?
I think she's 50.
She's 51, no point. This guy is a controversial comedian and actor. He's been accused of doing some very inappropriate things.
T.J. Miller.
And he is the ex of one Katy Perry.
Oh,
Russell Brand.
Oh, Russell Brand. Very good. How old?
Russell Brand is 47.
He is 52.
He's 51 also. I want to see if I can find this song. If I can, I'm not even going to do his birthday, but this is a one-hit wonder.
Eagle-Eyed Cherry.
That's a really good guess just out of nowhere, honestly. But I'm a big fan of his song. I think he had one other song that may have charted.
Eddie Murphy?
No. I wouldn't describe Eddie as a singer, although he does have a really good song. All right, yeah, there's two songs in the system here. This is the only one that you're going to know. It's a great one.
I'll Be Sure.
Yes! I don't know what his real name is, but I love this song, Night and Day. It's such a good tune. Do you even know this song, Moose?
Let it play and I might.
This is a great song.
This is a great song.
It's got like 5 words, but who cares?
There were babies made to this song, many of them.
None of them are named Al.
Or B. But I'm
You
sure.
sure?
You sure?
Yeah. I'll just give you the first line. We got to move, but...
Well, we can get the age still. Yeah, I know this one.
All right, how old is Al Be Sure today?
62.
69.
He's 58. And last but not least, this guy plays only doctors, apparently, on television.
Noah Wiley.
That's correct. All right, Moose, you need a bingo bango for a tie. You want to go first or second?
Let Phil go first.
Noah Wiley is 53.
He is 57.
He's 55. No point.
Oh, my goodness.
Good comeback. All right.
Do you have to have a tiebreaker now?
No, it's over. You won.
You got it.
We got to hit a break.
Dang it.
Nico, ready to go? Can we hit a break first?
Yeah, he said he'd hang.
Okay, cool. We got to hit a break. I'm sorry, Nico. We're behind. My bad. What's new? If you ever listen to the show, you would know. This is what I do. That was fun, though. Nico, hang on. Nico Baumbach joining us from the Trojans after this. Their leading hitter. Big week. Very exciting.
Arkansas's Best Chevy Dealers presents Kevin Bohannon each week on Drive Time Sports with Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer on 103.7 The Buzz. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
This is SportsCenter.
The New York Knicks took Game 1 of the NBA Finals in San Antonio against the Spurs, 105-95 last night. Jalen Brunson led the way for the Knicks with 30 points, including 13 in the fourth. New York was down 14 points in the second half, but finished the game with an 11-0 run. This was the Knicks' 12th consecutive playoff win, making them only the third team to do that in a single season. Victor Wembanyama led the way for the Spurs with 26 points, but only shot 6 of 21 from the field. The Spurs as a team were held to only 36% shooting. Game 2 is tomorrow night at 7:30 on ABC. We also get a Game 2 on the ice in the Stanley Cup Final. The Vegas Golden Knights look to take a 2-0 lead against the Carolina Hurricanes in Carolina tonight at 7 on ABC. I'm Moose with the Buzz Radio Network.
Tune in every Friday morning to hear Danny West from hogsports.com on Morning Mayhem. Brought to you by HJ Trailer Sales. They've got truck beds and utility trailers for every type of job and a service facility for maintenance and repair. Local folks with great products. Visit them online at hjtrailersales.com or in person at 808 Albert Pike in Hot Springs.
Plumbing problems? No problem. Whether it's a leaky faucet or a whole lot more, call the professionals at B.R. McGinty. They'll fix it right the first time. Call for all of your plumbing needs.
I'm against it, yeah.
Take it from Arkansas greats, Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
Still Arkansans' fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
This is Justin Acri. If shoulder or elbow pain is affecting your daily life, the fellowship-trained physicians at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health are here to help. They offer advanced care for injuries, arthritis, rotator cuff problems, and more, helping you feel better, move better, and get back to everyday life. Call 501-686-TOSH today to schedule your appointment. That's 501-686-8674. The doctor will see you now. It's Justin Acri for Kaufman by Design West. I'm here with Ruben, and there's big news out at Kaufman. Ruben, tell me why Toro mowers are such a great addition to what you guys have to offer.
Toro's been around for 100 years. When it comes to rider comfortability, they've introduced the MyRide suspension, where it really is like riding on the cloud. Superior cut quality, even cuts. This is a mower that can stick with you for a very long time.
If you want to make your outdoor space look great, Kaufman by Design West has got you covered, now including Toro mowers. Check them out at 14900 Cantrell Road or online at kaufmanlumber.com.
Stay up to date with the latest Razorback news with the Red White Report. Every weekday with Justin and Phil on The Zone. The Red White Report is brought to you by Ortho Now, your walk-in solution for orthopedic care at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health.
You're in The Zone with Justin Acri and Phil Elson.
They're ridiculous. They're impossible.
Those guys are the worst. They're sick. They're perverted.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Where all the girls at with the credit cards and the high heels. The Mercedes-Benz with the big wheels. When they hit this jam, they can't sit still. Yeah, they know what's up.
All right, welcome back. Nico Baumbach is preparing to play the biggest game of his college career, so I know he wanted to sit on hold for 8 minutes while we do our little radio show over here. Just kidding. I appreciate him hanging on, though. He's on the Jim's Razorback Pizza Hotline. Trojans and Trojans. Tomorrow on Buzz 2 1067, starting at 3:45, with the incomparable voice of Max Coltrane on the call. Should be a blast. And it's going to be something really special, and hopefully things go well. Nico, sorry for the delay. How are you?
No, it's all good. What's going on?
Well,
I'm doing good.
Buddy, listen, this city is electrified for Trojan baseball, and everybody's excited. I know we only got 600 tickets, but I'm hoping that all of that allotment was taken up and then some. But tell me how you're feeling on the eve of the most important game of your collegiate career.
I feel good. I think this team's ready. I mean, especially after Hattiesburg, a very challenging regional, and we ended up coming up top. And so I think, with all the veterans here and then the people from last year, I think maybe stand a good chance.
Nico, I'm going to call you seasoned because calling you old would be rude. But you have played your share of college baseball. Hell, who are we kidding? You've played my share of college baseball, too. Can you walk us through your career?
Yeah, 7 years.
Yeah, walk us through your career. 7 years of college sports. This is when we criticize kids typically when we hear stories like that. It's like, come on, guys, get out of school. But unless it's one of your guys, then you're like, hell yeah, we're happy to have a 7-year guy. So tell me your story. How did you get from the beginning to today?
So COVID was my first year, so it feels a long time ago. But I went to junior college for 2.5 years, and then Coach Curry called me. Wanted me to come play third base for him, and very excited to do that. I love Coach Curry, and so we had 2 great seasons here. Won a regular season championship, and then thought I was going to go play professionally, and things happen. Didn't work out that way, and I had a Division II year left, so I was like, you know what, work on my master's. Why not play another year? Had a good year, and then I was going to join Coach Curry on staff here, and then midsummer, he called me. I was like, hey, we actually found you another year. And he's like, are you interested in playing? And I was like, man, I've done this for 6 years, but, I mean, under Coach Curry, I love playing for him. So I was like, why not? And look where we are now. So it's all worth it at the end of the day.
Nico, this game will humble you. You know that very well, and more so hitters than any other position. But I feel like the guys who play junior college ball are probably more humble than the others. And I think you take pride in playing at that level, but there's got to be some kind of of a change in when you're playing there in front of hardly anybody else, and then you get to play Division I, especially in a weekend like this. Like what? And I'm seeing your team is made up of a lot of junior college transfers. I just watched Kansas this last weekend. It was made up of all JUCO transfers. What is it about junior college ball players where some people just think, well, it's just a team of junior college players, but it's a great level of baseball, and I think it does something to your mindset?
It's just a level of grittiness at the end of the day, especially when you're practicing in the fall, 100 degrees outside. You're doing stuff on concrete. You're working out 5-6 hours a day because there's no time slots or time limits at the end of the day. And so when you come to Division I, you're like, man, this is a blessing at the end of the day. But, it's well worth it. There's more, at stake, essentially. Trying to make a regional, trying to make it deep into a regional like we are right now. And, everyone has that mindset of just wanting it and playing for, playing the love of the game at the end of the day, because you're out there grinding 24/7, playing, we have a whole fall season essentially at junior college. I'm playing 20 games maybe, at least feels like it, in the fall, and then you have another season in the spring. So it's just a grind. These people have, grittiness and toughness at the end of the day, come from the junior college level.
On the Jim's Razorback Pizza Hotline, Nico Baumbach, leading hitter for the Little Rock Trojans, preparing for the school's first ever super regional game tomorrow at 4 o'clock. History will be made one way or the other. They have already achieved a level that has never been reached before by this program, and hopefully some even greater heights are ahead. Coach Curry said after you guys beat Southern Miss that you guys, someone said, had a dangerous team, and he said, no, this team is lethal. And then after you won the regional, he said, I guess we're super lethal. What does lethal mean to you when it comes in context of Little Rock baseball?
A team that just never gives up at the end of the day. And we've, in the past, we came from the losers bracket, actually, in that OVC tournament. And, with the grittiness of the junior college players and the people that, they want it, we want it more. At the end of the day, coming back from down 2 runs in the 7th and down, I think 5, and then going into the 7th as well. And it was just like, man, backs against the wall. But, we prevailed at the end of the day. And then someone listed us as a dangerous 4 seed. And then right before we were going to Southern Miss, Coach Curry was like, I don't know, I want to describe us as a dangerous, we're lethal. And so we kind of took that in and made it our own, and it's worked.
So the ballpark apparently at Troy is a little bit unique, and it was described by someone, I guess Evan Lee said, it's like a reverse Green Monster where there's a high right field wall. We talked about it in the context of pitching and how they'll approach that. From an offensive standpoint, what does the layout of a ballpark mean to you, or do you pay any attention to that at all?
Not really pay much attention to it. It kind of just depends on what the wind's doing at the end of the day. Whether we have to stay low and hit low line drives, or, they have turf, so probably plays faster on the ground compared to, our turf's a little thicker, so we might get more base hits hitting ground balls. But at the end of the day, I think it doesn't really matter what the ballpark's doing or what it looks like. It's just, another field, like Coach Curry also says, would throw down in a Walmart parking lot. It's one of my favorite sayings he says, so...
There's another T-shirt to be made.
Yeah, but you probably practiced in a Walmart parking lot anyway. This with the whole the junior college thing. You play outfield too, or is there another position?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's the thing I wonder about that right field fence. It's learning how to play a ball. It's not how to hit with it. It's when to give up on putting your back up against the wall and just know how to play it off the fence.
Yep.
Well, they're going to have to practice that once they get to the field today. I mean, that's what you're doing when you get there.
Yeah, we
today.
have practice today.
Yeah, you'll have a little bit of
we have practice here at 1:30. Yeah, so we'll have a better understanding of what the field does at the end of the day.
We all work at the bus level, generally speaking. Phil is lucky; he gets to fly around on private jets with Arkansas. I'm in a bus league. You're in a bus league generally. How was the private charter over to Troy?
Oh, it was so nice. Thankful for, having a good athletic director in Frank Cuervo. He hooked us up. I know he did that at Western, and we're, pretty much in all. I think only maybe a select few from SEC or transfers on our team have done that before. So we're just sitting here like, man, this is a blessing. We don't get this every day, take it in, and we're just like, okay, well, we can get used to this, so hopefully, keep doing that.
Nico, last thing, and I texted Coach Curry after you guys beat Southern Miss, and I said the best team won today. You guys played the best baseball. You played the cleanest baseball, and that was the case throughout the regional. And I'm just curious about it with the next stage against a Troy team that's also playing really well right now. Do you anticipate any additional nerves, or is it just going out there and playing ball? Or I guess, how do you get to that point where it feels more like that?
I think it's just playing ball. Not letting those nerves and anxiety take over. Whoever's the calmest at the end of the day will probably prevail. And I think, we've done that. We have, the saying, nothing to lose. Because, we've been the underdogs from postseason since we started postseason baseball. And so it's just whoever's calm at the end of the day. We have great pitching, great defense, timely hitting. And I think, we've done that a lot in the postseason, and, why not stay hot and continue that going into Troy tomorrow, actually.
Absolutely. Best of luck, my friend. I appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we're talking to you next week about
appreciate the call.
About what's next. You bet, man. Take care.
When we've been talking with these players and Coach Curry, Justin, I hear so much trust amongst teammates and coaches from all of them. And that, to me, is what baseball is. If you think of baseball teamwork, because it's really a sport of individual battles in the context of a team, it's all about trusting the guy who's batting behind you, trusting the guy you're throwing to. They trust all their teammates.
You are correct, sir. They are just playing great baseball. It's beautiful to watch. It really is when it's played the way they play it. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and get a couple calls in. We've got our What's on Tap segment coming up, brought to you by our friends at Flyway Brewing, where we were hanging out last week watching the Trojans take care of business against Southern Miss. And I want to mention our friends at Gwatney Chevrolet, right now offering 0% APR for qualified buyers for 5 years on 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500s. In this era where all we complain about, it seems like, is interest rates. How about 0% for 5 years on a Chevy Silverado 1500? You might be an SUV buyer. You're like, I could drive a truck for 0% for 5 years, I think. That's a pretty good deal. I don't know how much money that saves you in the big scheme of things, but it's a lot. If you want an SUV, though, they've got you covered across the board on those as well. Equinox, Trailblazer, Tahoe, Traverse. Big Traverse fan. Suburban, I'm cruising around right now in a Trailblazer. And, again, it's a little smaller. You get great mileage, around 30 miles a gallon. And, again, if you're looking for a fuel-efficient car in this era where the gas prices are high, too, not to mention the interest rates not being great, it's a great way to go. Gwatney Chevrolet's standing by, waiting for you. They're in Jacksonville. You get off at the James Street exit heading north from the capital city, and by golly, you'll find yourself with a great deal awaiting. Great service during the sale, excellent service after the sale. Financing, absolutely got you covered, as I mentioned, and they'll take care of you on your trade as well. It's Gwatney Chevrolet, ladies and gentlemen. Go see our friends over in Jacksonville.
This is Mark Miller for Parker Cadillac in Little Rock. We're going all in with vehicles for every budget. Need a truck? We've got light duty and heavy duty ready to work. Looking for an SUV? We've got the nicest inventory of full-size SUVs you're going to find anywhere. Tahoes, Yukons, Navigator, Escalades, and much more. For quality, selection, and first-class service, shop Parker Cadillac today. Visit us online at parkerspecials.com or give us a call, 501-224-2400.
When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, whether it's damage from smoke, water, fire, or mold, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. Their extensively trained team, state-of-the-art equipment, and 24/7 rapid response will help get your life back on track fast. Because this isn't just their service area, it's their home. When you need them, find them at rainbowrestores.com. Rainbow Restoration, where they restore, you recover. Services performed by an independently owned and operated franchise.
Good things come in mini packages at Southland Casino Hotel this May and June. Join us for Cruising into Summer. Saturdays from 7 to 11 p.m., 450 winners share over $400,000 in free play and prizes. One free daily entry, 500 points earns one more. Grand prize winners on May 30th and June 27th win a share of $10,000 free play or a 2026 Mini Cooper convertible. Cruise into summer at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
10 Fitness brings you Top 10 Tuesdays with The Zone. Each week, Justin and Phil will dive into a different Top 10 list and take your calls. Brought to you by 10 Fitness. Turn back the clock on gym prices.
Attention.
If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-600-2763. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-600-2763. That's 501-600-2763.
Get in the conversation with live fan feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on The Zone by Rainbow Restoration. When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, damage from water, smoke, fire, or mold, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. RainbowRestores.com. They restore, you recover.
Let's get back to more of the show in the Oaklawn Hot Springs studio with your hosts, Justin Acri and Phil Elson.
Okay, gotta talk more sports with you.
On the Buzz Radio Network.
All right, we got a quick mention here, a quick rundown on what's going on. This is what we would call the calm before the storm. There's no NBA tonight, and there's no college baseball tonight, but there's a whole slew of it starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow, and I cannot wait.
11 a.m., that's right. While we're on the air, we're going to have
Cal
Poly in West Virginia. See, I'm a Pitt fan. I want to root against West Virginia, but I kind of want to root for them.
No, you got to root for the Mustangs. Cal Poly's my people, man.
Why?
San Luis Obispo, that's where I interned.
Yeah, but I want to hear Country Roads again.
Country Roads again. I thought you hate them.
I really don't.
You're a bad hater. Our friends at FanDuel let you wager on any of it, so you can do whatever you want. Also on the NBA. New customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets, guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel is the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. Play your game any way you want. Seek out individual markets for baskets, rebounds, assists, whatever. I don't think you can bet on turnovers, but that would be a fun one, actually. You can do all of it at FanDuel.com/Arkansas to join and get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel is an official partner of the NBA. You do have to opt in, and the first online real money wager only $5 again, 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required, obviously. Bonus is a non-withdrawable bonus bet expiring 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, what's on tap? And then we'll hand it off to Wes and Joe.
What's on tap? Highlighting the biggest sporting events each day is brought to you by Flyway Brewing, with locations in Argenta, Breckenridge Village, Memphis, and Fayetteville. For more info, go to flywaybrewing.com. Fresh beer starts there. Follow the migration.
Phil just said Cal Poly's just smart kids. Yeah, most polytechnic schools have sharp youngsters.
Just remember, I had a guy in the Mudville 9 and the Brewers Single A before I moved to Arkansas that came from Cal Poly, and it was different having a conversation with him than with the other guys on that team.
All right, tonight you get stuff, but not like tomorrow. There is Canadian football, though, Moose, on CBS Sports Network. Montreal and Hamilton. You big Tiger Cats fan?
Tackle them, but not too hard, bud.
The Tie Cats, right?
Nah, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, baby.
All right. We've also got the Memorial Tournament happening, 1 o'clock on Golf Channel. It's already underway. Earlier today, the biggest whiner in golf, who I'm not a fan of, but you have to tip your cap to him, Jordan Spieth, made a 62-foot putt. It was pretty amazing, and his back was to the hole when he hit it. There's also Stanley Cup Finals Game 2, so Hockey Center Stage tonight, Vegas and Carolina going head-to-head.
Game 1 was tight. That should be fun to watch.
Yes, absolutely. And Texas Tech and Texas, Game 2 tonight in the Women's College World Series, ESPN-U. Texas takes a 1-0 lead in that series, and that's that. Oh, and on the Buzz tonight. Oh, my bad. That's kind of important. What's today, the 4th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not all at once. Travelers next door, 620, 106.7. And then Tap Time tonight. And that's at 7 o'clock. So if you like talking beer, let the guys that know about beer talk beer. Okay? That's that. Hi, Wes.
What's up?
Hey, man.
How are you?
Great.
What a day. We had a busy day, Bob.
It was. 3 hours felt like 2.
It was.
I like those days.
Yeah, we had a lot of interviews. So what's up with you guys today?
We've got Steel Leaves, thanks to Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance at 1:30, putting a bow on the season and telling us about his summer plans. I think he could be a starting pitcher next year.
Yeah, I just hope his plans include coming back and pitching for the Hogs.
I got to think it does. Also, Richard Davenport at 2:10 with a recruiting report. And Tag Andrews. I had a recorded interview with Tag earlier. Of course, they're practicing right now. Little Rock Trojans closer will join us.
The 19th ranked Little Rock Trojans. Put some respect on the name. All right, we're out. Adios.
Floyd Seafood, Keel Avenue, Sherwood, has live Louisiana crawfish. It's the last week for live crawfish. Order by 2 o'clock Thursday for your weekend. Floyd Seafood in Sherwood, your homesick Cajun headquarters for live crawfish. Order by 2 o'clock Thursday.
Hi, this is Quinn Grover. When you need expert health care, UAMS Health is here for you. From cancer and heart care to neurology, obstetrics, orthopedics, and more, UAMS Health provides advanced care across a wide range of specialties, backed by research, innovation, education, and a commitment to improving lives. That's care you can trust. From UAMS Health, the official orthopedic